Hi everyone and welcome to a new series of Ultimate Racing 2D2, and we are going to be going through mini championships through the different ages of Formula 1 with different car sets. Most of these car sets have been made by someone called Nuno on the workshop. I don't know if you're out there, I've seen you comment I think on a previous video of mine. Thank you so much for the work that you've done. I don't know if you can get in touch somehow, either on here or on Twitter, and ping a PayPal over or something like that, because I think you deserve some rewards for all of the hard work that you put in, not just for cars but for the tracks themselves. So what we're going to be doing with this is a random kind of collection of tracks alongside a car set. I've gone in and edited some of the actual values here, so this isn't how you would get the cars when they come through. Now, every car has exactly the same amount of turbo, but what I've done is slowly go through and kind of tweak where I personally feel the speed and the driver ability and the grip for each car was. The reason why I've started with 1996 is that it seems to be from that year onwards there's already an F1 car set. Doesn't mean that we won't go backwards in time as well over the series. Let's see how we get on. And I've purposely gone for 1996 because my favourite driver of kind of this era was Olivier Panis. Big fan, and he won his Monaco race this year. So yes, plus my favourite team of all time was Minardi. So you know we'll go with that. So in 1996, it was the very first Albert Park Grand Prix, so we should put that on. Bahrain didn't exist, so I'm going to minus that. Same with China. Spain certainly did exist, so we'll add that in. We'll add in Monaco because Olivier Panis's win. Canada, that was a good round as well, obviously, with Jacques Villeneuve coming across, thinking that he was going to win the race. Austria didn't exist then either, so let's go to the UK. Germany did exist, but not this layout. So I'm going to add Hockenheim in, but we'll see how that goes. Hungary, of course, did exist, as did Spa. As did Monza. Russia didn't. Japan certainly did. That American track didn't. Mexico was off the calendar by then. Brazil was on the calendar, but it was early. And indeed, the European Grand Prix existed then, so let's go Germany first for the Nürburgring, then we'll dive back to Brazil for 12 rounds of the championship. Now, I'm going to dive through some of the stuff that I've downloaded to see if anything else was about at the time. Imola, let's add Imola on because that existed back then for the San Marino Grand Prix. Portimao wasn't, but oh, someone's done a different Albert Park. Okay, we'll leave it with the original ones in the game. Norris Ring, let's get them round there, shall we? Kyalami was back off again. Portimao. Estoril existed though, and so did Buenos Aires. So. Ooh, this feels... Oh, we've got AI lines here. Do you know what? I'm going to... That's going to go... Apologies. This is a fabulous start, isn't it? And Manicure is there as well. So that Estoril looks beautiful. So let's put that in. Delete that Imola. And it's just because these are called AI lines, it makes me think that the AI lines have actually been put in and given serious thought. So let's go for that. Buenos Aires, and it was 16 rounds that year. So should we go for like a random? Castellet Vintage, love that. Of course it was Manicure by then anyway. Oh, I need to go in and resave some of this stuff. Put in a karting track. It's like Drive to Survive before Drive to Survive even existed. Let's go for... Do you know what? I'm a huge Circuit Superstars fan, as you will have known. Let's give Tilk Sport a go and see how it works in this context. So we've got 16 rounds, virtually all of the actual real championship going on there. That's cool, like that. Okay, so where should we go? What should we do? Let's do 16 laps for 16 rounds. One qualifying lap for each type of thing. We're on spectator mode, 20 cars obviously. AI is on 100%. The weather. Now, we've left it clear we could do rain at 10%, but I always find that the rain then always comes at 10% and it ruins too much of what goes on here. So I'm going to leave it as clear for the time being, and we'll leave the tyres as available there. The rules are penalties are at medium, damage is at medium, and boost and collisions are on. So let's see how we get on. And welcome to F1 1996. We're off to Albert Park. Let's see how we get on. So, quali. Off and away. I'm expecting a Williams benefit up front, and it is Jacques Villeneuve, just like in real life. Diving into the lead so far for its pole position. Berger feeling a little bit feisty, the Austrian, in his penultimate year in Formula 1. Coming to the front, and could this be a Benetton pole? Already, we might have buggered up the AI already, and it looks like it. Gerhard Berger getting pole position for the first round of the championship. Welcome to my versions of Ultimate Racing 2D2. Williams 2 and 3 with Hill and Villeneuve, then Odysee just behind. Michael Schumacher 5th in his first year for Ferrari, ahead of Hakkinen and Irvine. The Jordans 8th and 9th with Barrichello and Brundle. They didn't have a good start to the season in Melbourne, if I remember rightly. Panis ahead of Diniz, then it's Frentzen, Coulthard. Verstappen bested the footworks, well ahead of Herbert, Salo, Lamy Fisichella, and then Katayama not having a good run, and Ricardo Rosset certainly not at the back of the field. So, lots of different tyre strategies. Berger on the hards, Hill on the mediums. Villeneuve not so far behind, immediately attacked by Jean Odysee. But look at Michael Schumacher trying to dive bomb through the lot. Zoom out slightly. But it is Berger holding his own at the moment. The Tyrrell's having a terrible start, dropping to the last two positions on the grid. And it's just Berger and Irvine on the hard tyres, everyone else on medium or softs. And look at that, steaming past goes Schumacher, Villeneuve, and Lacey. Villeneuve goes off wide, loses a position to the Benettons. Hill swamped with that mistake as well, drops away from Villeneuve. And look, the Williams is being absolutely swamped despite having the best car with the best stats. Not a good look there at all. But it's up front, looking like Schumacher. Barrichello gets through, and look, Villeneuve immediately into the pits. First pit stop of the year, not a good look for him at all. Brundle, a terrible start too. Now you can see the Tyrrell swapping positions at the back, but clearly struggling somewhat with some of the corners. Herbert in trouble there too in the Sauber. As Brundle retakes Verstappen, does he? Yes, he does. Up into 12th. Back up front, what's going on here? Hill trying to redeem himself after a poor start. Gets around Eddie Irvine, but Pedro Diniz quite fancying a little bit of a spear up the back. Didn't quite happen. He was right at the very back of the grid for his Ligier debut. Came of age throughout the season, though, as that's Hakkinen. Doing very well in that McLaren, getting past Odysee and immediately binning it. Afterwards, through goes Barrichello. Maybe that's why someone's redone Albert Park. I feel like the racing lines are not great, as Rosset and Herbert come into the pits, Footwork and Sauber respectively drop to the back of the field. There's quite a bit of a field spread with this mod, I noticed, and I've kept it that way because 1996 was hardly the year of close racing throughout the field. So as Berger gets round Diniz, there were some teams though that had some real swings in performance. Benetton one of them, McLaren another. As who's that in? That's Mika Salo dropping to the back. Those two, I guess. Tyrrell's also had a bit of a meh year of it. As look, Lacey smashes into the back of Ricardo Rosset. That's allowed smoke to come out the back of the car, and as they battle for the lead, lapping the Brazilian in the footwork. Lacey into the lead, but is that car too damaged? Yes, it is, but Schumacher's is too, and is Hakkinen there, all into the pits together. Barrichello too. Everyone pitting on the same slot. Is Hill going to leapfrog them? Yes, he does. Hill does the undercut, takes the lead on the medium tyres. Lacey on the softs, and into the vents by the looks of it. This use of turbo everywhere, I think, really causing some strategic flummoxes going on. Diniz up to 7th, having a great old scrap. Pedro Lamy yet to pit in 14th in the Minardi. That's surprising. And look, Hill, it's his first stop into the pits. Not a good run for him. Rejoins in 7th position. And it really is. Who stayed out of trouble doing a good job? Eddie Irvine. Look, hard tyres can go all the way to the end. Is he going to try a 0 stop? Villeneuve, I don't think, will try and stop again. Down in 9th place, unfortunately for him. And look, Fisichella, Rosset, Sarlo, all battling together. And look, the lap traffic getting in the way for Schumacher. Irvine making much better meal of it. So he goes through in the Ferrari. Back up front, though. Jean Odysee leading the way, lap 11 of 16. Then it's Hakkinen, Schumacher, Irvine, Barrichello, Pedro Diniz. Then it's Damon Hill closing him down. Villeneuve not far behind, as well as Berger. That's Frentzen being caught by Olivier Panis, who has to deal with Rosset, and Rosset gets a penalty there. Oh dear, that's the first time I've really seen that properly in an actual racing game. So naughty Ricardo Rosset, or Tosser for short. Johnny Herbert there overtaking Pedro Lamy. Lamy still yet to pit, and he's on medium tyres. I'm not sure that will quite work till the end of the race, but it's got the Minardi up positions. That is the slowest car of the lot, as Rubens Barrichello pops a lap on Martin Brundle. Such is the field spread and the confusion going on today. Casalo last of the lot, getting lapped for the second time by Jean Odysee. But look, Michael Schumacher's coming. Is Schumacher going to make this a Ferrari win on debut? That would be crazy if it was the case. And look, steams through. Oh, but into the wall. That was a definite mistake there by Michael Schumacher, who now goes into a rage and smashes Jean Odysee. Normally, well, I guess both of them would have form, to be fair, as they go through turns 11 and 12, down into the final 15-16, and across the line they go for the penultimate lap. It's still Schumacher leading the way, but definitely now it's Mika Hakkinen in the McLaren Mercedes closing them down. Barrichello not far off too. Williams absolutely dropping like a stone, it must be said. And Irvine yet to stop, now overtaken by Pedro Diniz because his tyres are knackered. On to the final lap. And look, Odysee's trying to get back through. They've got Verstappen in the way and Frentzen, and Verstappen doing to Montoya the same things that he's doing now to Odysee, but Odysee's not given up. Look at how knackered those cars are. He's used the boost. He's held the boost on later, has Odysee into the lead. Hakkinen's got second as well. Interesting. Jean Odysee wins for Benetton. Hakkinen second. Michael Schumacher third. Then it's Barrichello, Hill. Then a gap back to, looks like Pedro Diniz is going to hold off the absolutely knackered Berger and Irvine. Villeneuve, they've all really had heavy damage. No wonder they're so far back. Then it was Panis. David Coulthard gets 11th ahead of Verstappen. Frentzen, Brundle about to cross the line there. That's Johnny Herbert on the grass in the Sauber. Really crazy stuff there on our opening race. 30 points for the winner, then 25, 20, 20, and so on and so forth. And then from 8th downwards, it drops a single point, and its last position that scores nothing, which was stunningly Mika Salo's Tyrrell. Not a good start for that team. So, standout drives there. Odysee for the win. Hakkinen on the podium in an unfancied McLaren. Diniz, a stunning 6th in that Ligier, managed to stay out of trouble by the looks of it. And Lamy's 0 stop not quite working. So, championship as you were as they finished. Constructors, Benetton into the lead ahead of Ferrari, McLaren. Williams only 4th despite having the best car. Then it was Jordan, Ligier, and a big gap back to Sauber, who didn't quite translate into big points. Footwork, Minardi and Tyrrell last. Obviously, only 20 cars can race in this game, so 40 Ford not represented. So Andrea Montermini and Luca Badoer not part of the game. On to Spain then. Let's see how we're getting on here. Lots of long corners that you can take kind of flat out actually. So again, Schumacher right up front here. Hill having to take a little bit of a different line through a couple of these corners. It looks slightly tighter to me, but Villeneuve and Hill doing a much better job of it. Villeneuve and Schumacher doing a much better job. Down the end of Sector 2. And look, Villeneuve starting to get a tiny bit of an upper hand advantage over Schumacher. The real difference between these are actually in the straight line speeds of stuff. But look, Schumacher edged ahead down the straight. That really surprises me. Didn't use all of his boost by the looks of it. Or used some of his boost maybe towards the end of that. But 0.02 of a second. Michael Schumacher on pole for Ferrari ahead of the Williams duo of Villeneuve and Hill. Chunky gap back to Berger, Irvine and Odysee. And it's the Jordans, McLarens. Then again, Coulthard really struggling there in qualifying. Kind of emulating actually his early season form for reality. Again, Diniz punching above where he probably should be. Again, Tyrrell not having a great run of things, and Ricardo Rosset well off Jos Verstappen, as he was in real life. I think those Tyrrells might be slightly underpowered if that's going to be where they end up quite often. Might have been a bit too harsh for them. Off and away we go, and again a terrible start there from Damon Hill, being absolutely rinsed down that straight. Look at Gerhard Berger going all the way around the outside. That could prove a bold and brave move. Doesn't quite work as Odysee chops him off, but Schumacher on the medium tyres. They will need to pit. Spain is a tyre wear related issue. But look, Schumacher again leaving his boost till later on in the lap and then absolutely pulls away. Oh, Hill! Doing what he did, well, that was where he ended his race in the wet in real life, of course, in 1996. That was not a good run for him. Schumacher, less damage, same tyres as Hill, stays out front. Berger makes a mistake this time. Through sneaks Odysee and Barrichello. Then it's Villeneuve, Hakkinen, Irvine, Brundle. Panis ahead of Frentzen. Not for long, the Sauber driver passing the Ligier Mugen Honda. Then it's Coulthard ahead of Hill. Diniz dropping back. Verstappen trying to do well in the footwork. Gets around and up into 15th on the soft tyres. And there's an absolute squabble going on behind. Lamy doing a different approach this time on the softs. Katayama's the car that's losing out. And into the pits comes Giancarlo Fisichella. His debut season in the Minardi, in on hard tyres at the end of lap 2. And that's Hill taking the lead from Michael Schumacher. Runs out slightly wide, having to take the wide line in. Around, I'm going to say that's Kampser. Oh. It still pains me that that chicane exists on the Barcelona circuit. I hate it. I prefer the old version. Maybe they can bring it back now that we've got new cars. Anyway, Hill well out ahead of Schumacher. Barrichello doing a sterling job in that Jordan up into third ahead of Berger. They are on soft tyres though. They just need to make sure they don't crash into each other so often. But I feel like Berger is sizing up Rubens, and indeed he is, as Schumacher takes an alternative line. And look, Barrichello's taking the fight back in that Jordan. There's Brundle there you could see in the background going off wide, but that's too damaged for Berger. Into the pits he comes. Villeneuve takes Hakkinen for what is now 4th position. Berger in. And look, Frentzen having a great run there in the Sauber. Up into 7th. Medium tyres past Brundle's hard tyres. Coulthard trying to recover too. Verstappen's made up places in that footwork up to 11th. And still running well. Diniz and Salo battling away. Lamy's got round Rosset 2. But it is Odysee. He's pitted. He's in 18th. We missed that stop. He's on hards. Will that make it through to the end? I'm not sure he will, depending on how hard he's pitted. Panis has been in 2. And that is Damon Hill retaking Michael Schumacher, who's again got past. These two having a real good squabble. Clean. Much cleaner than anything they did in 94 and 95 so far. Don't know what move that was, Michael, but alternative lines and all that. And again, running out wide. No problems, but they've got a good gap over Villeneuve, Hakkinen and Barrichello. So as they continue on, look at the way how Michael Schumacher uses his boost to try and cling back on, gets inside that slipstream boost and then can suck his way back up onto the rear of the Williams, makes a dive bomb for it. Excellent move. Hill wrong-footed. Into the lead goes Michael Schumacher. He'll have to think again. Villeneuve still 2 seconds off, but on hard tyres, that's the key there. Then it's Hakkinen, Irvine. Frentzen now up into 6th ahead of Brundle. That's Berger. He's pitted on the hard tyres. Might need to pit again if he keeps just ramming people out of the way. That's not going to work for him or for Brundle. I wondered if Brundle was going to pit there. He did not. Ooh, and Brundle's going to lose out to Coulthard as Coulthard uses some boost to get past the Englishman in the Jordan. Herbert holding up Barrichello, who's been into the pits, and that's not going to work for him at all. That's Verstappen in. Was on soft tyres, of course. Comes out behind Panis and Rosset. The Minardi's already now dropped to the back, unfortunately. And they're not too far away from perhaps being a lapped car. But the medium tyres of Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill are going to be reaching their end soon, and you can see, look, Villeneuve closing them down hand over fist. That was 2.4 seconds between Hill and Villeneuve about 2 laps ago. Now look, 0.3. Jacques Villeneuve closing in, big gap back to Irvine in 4th. There you can see him just popping through. Into the pits comes Fisichella. That's one of the back markers out of the way, at least, as Villeneuve takes 2nd away from Hill. Oh, that's not how you do it. And that little piece of contact may well be the point of trigger there for Hill to need to come into the pits as the two Williams go at it again. That's not how you score wins. It's not how you keep your damage meter up either. As now we come round to the back markers, this would be the time where I'd be thinking time to pit, perhaps if I was Schumacher, so that I didn't have to deal. And look, straight in. And Hill too. Villeneuve into the lead. Now, will Villeneuve try and make it to the end of this race on that set of tyres and make them squiggle through and work? Schumacher back out just alongside Fisichella's Minardi, but behind Irvine, who's yet to stop too in that Ferrari. And look at the difference of grip, soft tyres versus hard, and that's new soft versus old hard as well. And Hill's going to be doing exactly the same. Oh, hello. That might force Irvine to pit. And in comes Villeneuve. He's only gone 1 lap longer. That really surprises me. Katayama, I think that is in the side there as well. Yes, it is. Schumacher dives through into the lead. Hill into 2nd. And whilst Villeneuve has gained kind of time, doesn't feel right. And that's not enough of an overlap, I think, to be able to do much about it. Hill and Schumacher, just like old times, back up front. Other battles going on. Brundle and Odysee over 9th. Berger and Hakkinen over 4th. We'll dive to them in a second because I think this could be drama. It is indeed. We've got Ukyo Katayama's Tyrrell just up ahead, not having a great day either. And Hill does a dive bomb, does he? Nicely done. Past Schumacher, past Katayama. Who needs Giovanni Lavaggi? 96 race fans will remember that. Anyway, back up front. Next up is the Portuguese driver of Pedro Lamy to be lapped. And I think if he can get past this driver, he does. That's enough of a buffer for now. Villeneuve in 3rd. Oh, Berger past Hakkinen. Hakkinen in the grass there. That's not a good look. Hakkinen on medium tyres though, and they're newer. Stonks through in the McLaren up into 4th. He just needs to stay on the road and I think we'll be fine. Then it's Berger. Barrichello recovering on the hards. He's been out there for a while. Irvine on soft tyres might make meals of that. Then it's Brundle and Frentzen, Odysee, Coulthard, Herbert, Panis, Dinners, Verstappen. That's Salo being lapped. Tyrrell definitely, I think, slightly underpowered here. Schumacher's not giving up on Hill, is he? Indeed he's not. Penultimate lap. Hill under pressure. Williams versus Ferrari. Villeneuve not quite within reach yet, but he's now under a second from Schumacher. Could this be another 3-way as we go into the final lap? Hakkinen clear of Barrichello. Irvine's got past Berger for 6th and 7th. Off your screens too. And actually, if anything, look, Jacques Villeneuve's attacking Michael Schumacher as we go into the final lap. Verstappen gets out of the way for all 3. Great piece of work. Schumacher tries it, fails, runs out wide, and that's Villeneuve taking a dive bomb through. That works nicely. Schumacher uses his boost. That does not be effective, unfortunately, to go round the last couple of corners. Pedro Diniz's Ligier just up the road might cause a little bit of extra anxiety and drama for Damon Hill. It's not straightforward going through that chicane, but Hill does it, as does Villeneuve. And it's Damon Hill leading home. A Williams 1-2 just. Schumacher really fancied that one. Gets 3rd place. Who's got 4th though? Hakkinen or Barrichello? I didn't expect Barrichello to make a... Is he going to do it? Oh, Ruby, baby. Into 4th, just ahead of Hakkinen. Irvine 6th. Then it's Berger. Brundle comes home in 8th. Better run from him. Frentzen 9 in the Sauber. Odysee only 10. That early pit stop really cost him. Same for Coulthard. Herbert 12th. Panis is in 13th. And, well, he would have got across the line unlapped. When the lapped cars were Pedro Diniz, Verstappen, Salo and Katayama in the Tyrrells. Lamy Fisichella and Rosset was the driver yet to, well, not to score points there. Fastest lap by Damon Hill too. Whew. Let's take a look at those driver standings then after 2 rounds. It's Hill ahead of Schumacher, then Hakkinen, Alesi, Barrichello, Villeneuve on his recovery points score. Barrichello doing very well there. Din is still in the top 10. Moving further down to the second half of the field, led by Martin Brundle. Verstappen punching above his weight in the footwork. Tyrrell struggling off the line, but now with Katayama bizarrely scoring more points than Salo. 96 was not Katayama's best year, was it? He's pulled Tyrrell ahead of Minardi at the bottom of the score sheet. They'll want to leapfrog footwork. The Sauber and Ligier battle will continue on throughout the season, no doubt. Jordan keeping close to Benetton and McLaren, interestingly. Ferrari only a couple up the road, but Williams lead into the lead of the Constructors' Championship. Off to Monte Carlo! So this one should favour some good corner grip, and again it's Villeneuve, Schumacher and Hill pushing their way through. Irvine doing a better job this time in that second Ferrari too. That could prove good for being a good wingman. But Hill looking like he's got this one covered. Ooh, made a little bit of a boo-boo in that final corner, but Schumacher not able to do anything. He does split those Williamses though, interestingly, so well done to him. Irvine 4th, backing up Ferrari's pace, then the 2 Benettons. Panis in the top 10 for Ligier. Coulthard a slight improvement there for him. Salo beats the 2 Minardis. Katayama does not. Rosset at the back. So, this is going to be a race of being careful and attrition, as Villeneuve immediately tries to go on the attack for Schumacher. Gets through. Hill on the medium tyres though, so he's going to need to play balky to make sure that he keeps them through. And the trio already pulling away from Irvine and the rest of the field. Look at that as they steamroll their way around the corner. Definitely a bit of a tertiary tier of 4 drivers at the back there, with Katayama, Fisichella, Lamy and Rosset all struggling towards the rear. Villeneuve making a mistake. That dislodges him from the Hill and Schumacher battle up front. Problems for him. Hakkinen, they're injured, as is Alesi, as is Berger. Berger that was, making a mistake. And into the pits comes Jean Alesi. And Diniz and Coulthard getting them way out the way. I think Fisichella will be in, judging by that damaged meter as well. Yeah, and Rosset. So problems all round. That's what I said. This is a race of attrition, and someone had come out with already damage again there. I think that was Katayama. Real issues there, driving with Alesi. Alesi then first of the stoppers and the leader of them as he comes in. That's Frentzen in also with damage. Katayama in again. Not good for him. And the problem with this is around this narrow street circuit, as we've missed Schumacher take the lead from Hill. Apologies there. The problem is, as they all keep pitting, it means that they'll be getting lapped very, very quickly. That looked like an absolute squabble and a half between the Jordans going on there. Look, yeah, everyone's into the pits. Berger, Hakkinen, Barrichello, Panis, all in together. Salo up into 9th. Dizzy heights for the Tyrrell team, if he can keep that going. But look, Alesi damaged himself early, leapfrogs Berger. But Berger's out on the hard tyres. They might be able to get to the end. Frentzen soft, Hakkinen soft, Barrichello hard. Might be trying to get to the end as well. It's all around whether or not you can stay calm and clean. And this is the problem. Katayama, medium tyres, actually probably has, well, maybe not, it's judging by the speed of that car there, the pace to be able to try and cause some problems here. But look, this main trio, they're going to be struggling with this lap traffic all the way through. And look, Villeneuve and Hill and Rosset, Michael, whichever one it is, daddy and son together in the wall. And look at this for carnage. Trying to lap Fisichella. Hill gets a 3-second penalty. That causes problems behind. Schumacher, Villeneuve and Hill and Rosset all into the pits. The first three are the ones that really matter. But the key here, look, Eddie Irvine serenely into the lead. No damage whatsoever. He might struggle now that he's got actual lapped cars to get through, but makes mean and easy work of Ukyo Katayama. Oh, no, he doesn't. Yes, he does. But look, they're all back out again. Soft tyres for the three of them, just ahead of Johnny Herbert, who's doing a great job in the Sauber up in 5th, also yet to stop. This is the key. Verstappen yet to stop in the footwork, now in 7th, amazingly. They might stop now, though. Yes, indeed, he does. Bit damaged. But again, it's the path of least resistance through Monaco is the best way to play this one. As everyone dives through. Sarlo in the pits was running really well in that Tyrrell. Dropped now in behind, but should be able to make it to the end on that. Fisichella and Katayama in more trouble. Up front, though, it is Eddie Irvine leading the way. Not to stop. I think he might try and go without a stop at all, so long as he doesn't damage himself. He's having problems, though. Clipped the wall ever so slightly. Got his first piece of damage. Here comes Michael Schumacher through the tunnel. Non-existent, of course. Into the lead. No contest, really. Is that Ferrari team orders? A nanny. Villeneuve ahead of Hill, though, interestingly. So, will Irvine just be able to kind of coast himself round and bring himself into a podium position out of all of this? Berger's got round Johnny Herbert. Ooh, I think that'll mean Herbert will pit with that amount of damage. Hakkinen damage too, as is Brundle. Alace is fine. That's Frentzen and Panis coming out of the pits, but Sarlo and Verstappen have got through. Is that Mika Sarlo about to get past? Ooh, no, not if you hit the wall like that, mate. Round the outside of Portier. Beautiful move. Can he make it work? Yes, he will, because Verstappen gets caught on that curb. Into the pits, Herbert, Hakkinen, Brundle and Verstappen. Crazy stuff. What's going on up front, though? It is still Michael Schumacher in the lead. By quite a way, actually. Ooh, Rosset. That's not how you do that, mate. Hill into 2nd. Huge gap back to Gerhard Berger now in 3rd with a 1-stop. That's Irvine into the pits. Now soft tyres. This is where the podium could be his. Can he do something about Berger before Villeneuve catches up to him? Again on soft tyres. Tries to use something for... Oh no, he's hooked it on the curb and then he's had to use his boost to kind of try and negate the problem. Coulthard in the pits having another terrible run of things too. As is Ricardo Rosset, who's in for his 4th pit stop. That's nuts. Barrichello's had 3, as has Coulthard. Not good look. Irvine. Can he do anything on Berger? Doesn't look like it, can it? Look, Villeneuve there gets through. This time he's through it to back. Beautiful move by Irvine. Still got the tyres and the grip and the damage. And through goes Villeneuve immediately afterwards. That battle for the podium continues. But will Hill run into problems? That car is absolutely cream crackered, but it's very, very late in the day. Would you just limp round? Look, Barrichello unlapping himself in the Jordan, such is the problem. And yeah, look, Hill's going round to keep himself going. Schumacher in a very similar ilk, they're in trouble. So Hill might be under attack from Irvine before we get to the end of this lap. That is Alace getting past Berger. Herbert and Frentzen doing well for Sauber. But yeah, look, Sarlo in trouble, Hill's in trouble, everyone's in trouble, as across the line to win the Monaco Grand Prix comes Michael Schumacher. An excellent win there for the Ferrari driver. Who's going to get 2nd? It's Irvine! On the line, a Ferrari 1-2. Wowzers. Great stuff there. Then it's a Williams 3-4, a Benetton 5-6. That sounds almost boring when you think of it like that. Then it was a Sauber 7-8. Well done to the Sauber Ford team. Hakkinen and Panis round out your top 10 ahead of Brundle. Sarlo. Oh, and look, Mika Sarlo. That car's conked. It'd be classified 15th because of the way how the timing stopped, but that would have been worse for Sarlo had he have had to crawl over the line. So, excellent 1-2 for Ferrari. Don't think that happened for many years during that era of Ferrari. Ahead of the Williamses and Benettons. Sauber really a purple day for them. Hakkinen best McLaren as Coulthard again struggles somewhat. Panis creeping into the top 10. Good run by Verstappen to get up to 12th in that footwork. Sarlo was looking for good things in that Tyrrell, but it didn't quite translate. And then, yeah, Coulthard, Katayama, Rosset all having multiple stops. What's that mean in the standings? Schumacher now leads the championship. Ahead of Damon Hill. Lacey, Villeneuve. Irvine moves up into 6th after all of that. Frentzen up into 9th as kind of the best of what I would call Division... No, actually, I wouldn't call it Division 2. Because there was kind of like the top 3 teams, then McLaren kind of trailing behind with Jordan clinging on, and they were slightly ahead of the Ligier-Sauber battle with Tyrrell clinging onto the back of that, then Footwork, then Minardi, and then 40. But yeah, interesting there. Second half of the field, a real squabble. And Ferrari lead the constructors, now ahead of Williams. Benetton pulling clear of McLaren this time around. Jordan right behind. Sauber leapfrog Ligier. We're off to Canada. Home of Jacques Villeneuve. Will he get pole? Getting off to a good start. Berger taking a deep dish dive into that corner. It's a wee bit tricky, but it looks like Jacques Villeneuve is going to get pole on his home turf. Indeed he does. You don't even put in actual nationality on this game, but it seems to know what pleases a home crowd. So it's a Williams 1-2, Benetton 3-4, Ferrari in 5th for Michael Schumacher. Jordan doing well there with Barrichello and Brundle in the top 10. Panis just sneaking in there ahead of Coulthard. Bit better from Sarlo, beating home Johnny Herbert. Back row there, Rosset out qualifying Pedro Lamy this time around, so good stuff for them. Again, medium and hard tyres up front for the Williamses and the Benettons and the Ferraris, except for Irvine. And it's Villeneuve into the lead. Nice clean getaway for him ahead of Hill. Ooh, pinching for the Benettons, and look at the way how that stacks up the entire field behind. They're all smashing into each other, causing all kinds of problems. Those Jordans look a little bit knackered and worse for wear. Oh, Panis getting absolutely shuffled back in the Ligier. Coulthard in trouble too. I think we're going to have some early pitters. Herbert, a torrid start. Oh, not as bad as Frentzen. He was inside the top 10. Not anymore. 18th. Real drama there for that Sauber. But up front, it's a 1-2 for Williams, and they're serenely pulling away and having their own little mini battle. In comes Irvine, the first of the people needing to pit. Barrichello in as well. Brundle, Katayama, Coulthard and Frentzen. A real shake-up there, pushing... Look, Sarlo's into the top 10, 9th now. Lamy's into the top 10 pretty much too, as Berger has to pit this time. Verstappen up into 6th and in a clear place. As into the pits comes Panis, Herbert and Lamy for pit stops too. Which means... Up to 11th comes Giancarlo Fisichella. 10th is Ricardo Rosset. Dizzy heights. Sarlo's in 8th. Din is 7th. Verstappen 6th. Keep it clean. There could be some good points on the cards for these guys, depending on how everything plans out. Eddie Irvine, medium tyres, moves up into 11th past Fisichella's Minardi. Oh, Fisichella fancying a little bit of a push back there, but not able to quite do it. Next up is Ricardo Rosset. Not able to get through down at the hairpin. Look at that. The back train of cars all needing to pit. Someone's in this time around. Just look, that's Damon Hill ahead of Villeneuve. Didn't spot that happening. Villeneuve says, I'll have that back, thank you very much. Ooh, runs out wide. Real problems for him. Not a good look for Villeneuve, overcompensating that there. Rosset's been into the pits, comes out and immediately in the way for Damon Hill as he tries to pop a lap on the footwork driver. Does so indeed, and that puts a gap between him and Villeneuve. Schumacher behind, then it's a Lacey. Hakkinen was 5th, comes into the pits on his soft tyres. That puts Jos Verstappen into 5th in that footwork. Could this be footwork's red letter day? Berger closing him down. And there's the thing, all of that squabbling. Hakkinen's been into the pits nice and clean, comes out in 7th. Then it's Coulthard, Irvine, Barrichello, Sarlo still doing well. And he's pitted, actually. on the soft tyres. They get past Barrichello making a torrid mistake. Panis going around the outside of Brundle. He's going to go around the outside of Barrichello as well? No. Into the pits comes Eddie Irvine. Oh dear. That's his second stop. Should be his last, assuming that all goes well. Fisichella gets a penalty. That's not good for him. Drops him into the clutches of Rosset. But up front, that is Damon Hill punching Katayama out the way. Oops. I think those Jordans, one Jordan at least, will be in the pits. Yep, Rubens Barrichello pops in from what was 12th. And here comes Hill to lap Martin Brundle. Villeneuve 2 seconds back. And this is what you see here. Huge spread because of the way how the lapping works here. Ooh, Barrichello gets around Frentzen. Lacey laps the pair. That's Schumacher going on. Look at this squabble. Katayama, Irvine in for a third time. As is Herbert and co. Where is everyone else going on? Hakkinen now up into 5th. Berger, who has pitted, is in 6th. Look at that damage though. Mika Salo 7th. He's only stopped once. Here's Verstappen 8th. Getting round the Tyrrell driver. This is key. This is big points for Tyrrell and for Footwork if they can keep this going. They just need to stay clean, but I think Verstappen has actually pulled out enough to keep that clean. Coulthard's coming through. That's Diniz getting a lap down. Real red letter days for some of these teams towards the back. Sorry, I'm spinning through the people. Giving you epilepsy, probably. As Hill leads the way, really clear now from Villeneuve. Villeneuve yet to pit. I think they are trying to get to the end on the hard and medium tyres are Hill and Villeneuve. Is Schumacher going to be able to do anything about it? Not if he can't lap Panis and Brundle cleanly. Not sure. And Hill's got quite a bit of a gap in front, so I think we're okay there. Oh, Lacey in big trouble. He's got 2 laps to make it round with that car. He just needs to make sure he doesn't smash into too many people. Got a gap back to Hakkinen there. And that's Verstappen. 6th place there. He's got Berger closing him down. This is huge for Footwork if Verstappen can hold on to 6th. Berger there runs out wide. That's not going to help him at all. I think Berger might well try and get him. Salo up into 8th as well. He's got a massive gap over everyone else behind him. And here comes Damon Hill. And where's Schumacher come from in all of this? Hard tyres versus soft tyres, and Schumacher gets him on the line. The very last corner again. What is it with this last corner, Jules? Michael Schumacher takes the win from Hill. Villeneuve gets ahead of Lacey, who manages to get that car home. Then it's Hakkinen. Look, Jos Verstappen a superb 6th place. Berger 7. Salo's going to get 8th, is he? Yes, he is. Good run for Tyrrell. Then it's Brundle ahead of Coulthard. Barrichello. Katayama 12th for Tyrrell too, so a good race by both of them. That'll be a welcome points haul for the Tyrrell Yamaha team. So, Schumacher got the fastest lap. He got the win right at the last corner there. Stunning drives by Jos Verstappen for 6th, Mika Salo for 8th. Strong one from Katayama to 12th as well. Ligier really having a poor one, as did Sauber in the end. Look at that. Frentzen down in 18th. Too many pit stops. Eddie Irvine really having the shocker of the race. Down in 13th in that Ferrari. Too many stops. Ricardo Rosset beating home Pedro Lamy for his 2nd point of the season. Fisichella scored more than Lamy. That brings Katayama and Salo kind of back up to things. Panis not having a good start to the season. Down in 15th at the minute, but it's so close. Look at that. Verstappen with that score, it really shows like a one strong result can leapfrog you up, because 9th to 15th, 7 points. Swings and roundabouts. So Lacey equal on points with Villeneuve for equal 3rd. Schumacher pulling away from Hill. Wow. Constructors, that's Williams ahead of Ferrari. Going all the way down, Tyrrell closed up on Footwork, but they were both the teams that kind of got red letter days. So very close down towards the bottom there, but if actual performance was reflective, Tyrrell would leapfrog Footwork quite soon. Great if Tyrrell could leapfrog Ferrari. Okay. Silver Mastone, here we come. Schumacher not off to the fastest of starts there. It's Villeneuve who's up front at the moment. Hill keeping a watching brief. Odysee and co running behind. Ricardo Rosset detached from the back of the field there, but look, the Williams duo well clear. This does feel like a track that is all about that straight line speed. And that is certainly something that Williams and their Renault engines had. Villeneuve grabs pole by 800ths ahead of Hill. Schumacher pegs the Benettons. Then it's the Jordan, McLaren and Ligier squabble. Tyrrell's Salo up in 12th. I think they'll be pleased with that. Coulthard down in 15th, not having a good race at all. And yeah, look, the two teams with the worst powertrains. Powertrains, engines. This shows how old how old and young and confused I am. I'm starting to swap terminologies. Must have more alcohol. Off the line, Hill on soft tyres and Odysee too, so they're going aggressive. But it is Villeneuve that leads the way. Look at everyone steaming down the end of Sector 1. Oh, Lamy getting chopped off there quite aggressively. Everyone's through and Hill's into the lead down at Stowe. Ooh. And the Abbey chicane gets over the line. Nicely done. Into the lead. Villeneuve then now needs to probably, if he can't stay in the slipstream, draw his attention to keeping Odysee behind, who's on soft tyres. Look at Panis up into whatever position that is. 5th place, trying to hold off Irvine and Barrichello. The slipstreaming in this game is quite dramatic, and you can see where people are using it. Frentzen going down the outside there too, possibly using a wee bit of boost to try and get his car through. The soft tyred runners really making efforts there. Even Fisichella up into 15th in the Minardi, doing a good run. Oh, as Frentzen gets shuffled out wide, Brundle gets through. Berger not having a good start there. That's 10th place in that Benetton. Coulthard damaged, but now up into 13th as he makes his way through. As that is Verstappen getting round Diniz and Fisichella having a look too. Good run for the Minardi driver. Riccio Katayama's last. Who's those in the pits? There's quite a few in as Hill and Villeneuve go toe to toe. The tyres off already? No, they should be fine. That was Diniz, Coulthard and Eddie Irvine. Again Irvine in for an early stop. That's not going to help him at all. Yeah, just look at the way how the boosts work their way around. They've kind of dropped a little bit, Michael Schumacher. Barrichello doing a great race there. Brundle now ahead of Panis. Berger now ahead of Frentzen. So they're kind of shuffling themselves around a little bit. But there does seem to be some interesting tactics going on. Look at the slipstreaming that Villeneuve gets down the straight. Trying to smash his way past his teammate, rounding outside at the final corner and across the line. Beautifully done for Villeneuve into the lead. This all keeping Odysee very much in check. 3-horsey race out front. But it'll be around this time where the crossover begins, and actually the soft tyres of Hill and Odysee should in theory start to fall away as Hill retakes the lead into the pits of Cum, Diniz, Hakkinen, Coulthard, Verstappen as well. So we'll have a squabble up front. Fisichella too. But yeah, Odysee, a poor run from him, and this looks like Villeneuve's going to have another go at trying to get back past. They love going into the complex like absolute nutters side by side. Why not? Lamy in the Minardi, that gets them out of the way from being lapped. And none of the soft tyres runners coming in. He rejoins just behind Schumacher. Schumacher not massively closing in. Berger not having the best of runs, behind Brundle still. Panis still going on the soft tyres as well. We've yet to stop. Irvine now up to 10th in his Ferrari, having stopped. That's Herbert getting past Verstappen. Katayama damaged into the pits. But Hill still leads the way from Schumacher. I think that was Odysee pitting. Yes, it was. Look, Barrichello's through. Odysee onto new softs and clean air in front of him. That could be dangerous for the leading duo as they continue to battle and now reach the traffic of Giancarlo Fisichella's Minardi. Villeneuve takes the lead. Hill uses Fisichella's slipstream to get back through into the lead and into the pits. Nice little slingshot there. Schumacher looking slightly closer. after all of that. But where does Hill come out in relation to Odysee? Behind. Not for long. Switcheroo. As they come out from the corners. And Hill retakes the lead, immediately gets to work on lapping Lamy and getting round Rubens Barrichello, who I think might be trying to naught stop in that Jordan and making a good fist of it, actually. Schumacher in before Villeneuve. Interesting. Hill takes the lead. This has worked out really nicely for Hill, actually, to be honest. I thought Odysee might be able to peg something through, but Odysee's struggling to get round Rubens Barrichello, who's putting up more of a battle than I think others were expecting in that Jordan, doing a great job in 4th place. Oh, Brundle running out a bit wide in the other side of the screen. Here comes Schumacher on Barrichello, pops a lap on Lamy, and Barrichello's in. That surprises me. I'd have thought he would have carried on with that damage, because that was looking like a great run for him. So, Villeneuve behind Hill. Hill's already retaken him. Sorry we missed that. Villeneuve also slightly damaged and on medium tyres. That shouldn't be able to let him get to the end of the race, so he should be into the pits. That's why I was thinking Barrichello was going to do so well. Mika Salo's not pitted yet. He's in 11th in the Tyrrell. Yeah, look, Schumacher goes around again, but... Sorry, Villeneuve goes around again. Odysee already through. And Odysee still just a second off of Hill. Schumacher now past Villeneuve too. I think the game is up, because look at the way how Barrichello's quickly reeling in Villeneuve. I think Villeneuve might end up behind Barrichello at this rate. Panis ahead of Brundle. Frentzen, Hakkinen, Coulthard and Salo having a squabble. Oh, Mika, it was looking really good early on. Schumacher, is that Schumacher and Odysee? Oh, Diniz and Verstappen off in the gravel. That's no good. But I was watching what was going on at the top of the screens, and it was Odysee and Schumacher having a squabble battle. Villeneuve is continuing on. Barrichello is closing him down at quite a quick rate. Salo still not stopped. 14th place. He's got to watch himself with Odysee and Schumacher, because if he gets knackered, he will have another car that's buggered by the end of the race. Both get through, and Odysee stays ahead of Schumacher. This is real key for second overall in the championship as a whole. And look at Schumacher just blast his way through up into second place. Jean Odysee has nothing to say with that, and now there's a McLaren between them. Where's Villeneuve? He's pitted and he's out behind Barrichello. I said he should have done that earlier. Not a good look for him. Hill, though, out front, 1.7 seconds clear. That all kind of worked because everyone else ended up in weird squabbles behind him. So Damon Hill is going to win on home soil, takes the British Grand Prix ahead of Michael Schumacher. Odysee third. Barrichello's going to get a really well-deserved 4th place. Solid job there from Rubens. Then it's Villeneuve. Berger's going to get home ahead of Brundle. So a good run for Jordan, 4th and 7th. That's, I think, their best dual effort of the lot. Then it will be Frentzen beating home Irvine. Panis in the top 10 ahead of Hakkinen and Coulthard. Not having a good day for McLaren. Diniz got past Salo. That zero stop strategy looked really good with about 4 laps to go. Then it all went horribly wrong. Katayama rounding off a miserable day for Tyrrell as well. But in the context of them scoring against footwork, that's Ricardo Rosset's best result, but Salo still beat home Verstappen, and so actually the battle between footwork and Tyrrell continue on. Villeneuve fastest lap, didn't matter though, because the strategy was wonky. And that means that there's 4 points now between Schumacher and Hill. Villeneuve not really able to hold on to 3rd place as Odysee takes over. Hakkinen and Barrichello ahead of Berger, who's not had a great run of things. Irvine, apart from that 2nd place at Monaco, not shining. And certainly not shining is David Coulthard, down in 13th, scoring less than Jos Verstappen's footwork at the moment. Williams, though, clear of Ferrari. All to play for, as we end up at New Hockenheim. This looks like a Jean Odysee benefit, trying to go up front here. Of course, Benetton nearly scoring that win in 1996 with Gerhard Berger, who was definitely a Hockenheim specialist in its old variant. Went on to win in 1997 in what was probably the most popular win of 1997, to be fair. But I think that was Damon Hill grabbing pole position. Indeed it was. Good run by Panis to get 6th in the Ligier. Coulthard in the top 10, I think, for the first time this year. But Ligier doing well as a team there. Din is in at 11th. Let's see how we get on. 2 mediums versus 4 hards. Let's see how that gets on. Very few soft runners. Brundle the top of them, but Hill leads the way from Odysee. That's Villeneuve trying to see what he can do, diving around the outside of Schumacher. It does so indeed. Berger then clear. Then it's a gap back to Panis, and that could work out quite nicely if that 5 get away. Ooh, Barrichello taking advantage of Panis running wide, steaming through, and Coulthard. This is what happens when you qualify in the top half of the field, David. Up into what I think is now 6th. Yes, it is indeed. Great run by him. Schumacher there getting chopped off by Odysee. So it's a Williams 1-2, Benetton, Ferrari, Benetton, then McLaren. Not for long. That's Gerhard Berger using his prowess to try and get round Schumacher. I think he might have run a bit wide because Schumacher gets back through again. Coulthard having a good run. Panis still doing well in 8th, albeit in hard tyres, but Brundle will be all over him very shortly. Verstappen also running well in that footwork up into 12th, but on with the leading lot. And that's mainly because Fisichella's somehow 13th in hard tyres in a Minardi. Okay. Loving that, but okay. Frentzen getting through though, as Salo and Lamy go to battle. Katayama and Herbert having a miserable time at the back of the field. They've clearly been off the track somewhere and have rejoined at the back. Hill defending from Villeneuve. The slipstream really strong down this straight as Coulthard is our first pitter. That lasted long. Irvine gets round Brundle. And that looks like Verstappen retaking Fisichella. I don't know, he managed to get up behind. And that's Coulthard getting around Ricardo Rosset. Rosset running in 16th, one of his better races. And on the tips of Verstappen, actually, to be fair, as Coulthard gets round Giancarlo Fisichella, making his way up through the field. Villeneuve, hard tyres in the lead. Hard tyres, in theory, could go to the end of this race. So is Villeneuve going to try a zero stopper again? Will Damon Hill be able to keep Michael Schumacher behind? Or has he got his ideas on a lead? Not if he takes a wide line into turn 2 like that, he won't. Using all the boost and a little bit more down the straight with the slipstream to try and attack his teammate into the lead with that last little bit of boost. Schumacher, though, is going to have the pair of them, is he? Ho, ho, ho! Yowzers. Great stuff by him. Katayama's in the pits. That might cause problems as he rejoins right in front of the leaders. Yes, it does. Medium tyres for the Tyrrell Yamaha driver. Coulthard getting past Diniz off your screens and failing by the looks of it. So that's Berger. Panis having a great job in 6th there. Getting closed down by Irvine. Brundle not having the greatest of races. When you think he's on soft tyres, maybe tyres just aren't really working for softs around here compared to mediums, because some of the hard shod tyre drivers are really running well. The 2 Arrows is running nose to tail, although it says Verstappen's been in the pits. Then there's Herbert, Salo battling away, but Schumacher, look at that, 1.5 seconds is the difference between himself and Villeneuve. That's a real problem. There's lots and lots of drivers into the pits this time around. Salo, Lamy and Herbert in their little squabbles. And that has put more cars between Schumacher and everyone else. This is working beautifully for Michael Schumacher and his Ferrari. Let's look at what everyone else is having to cope with. Odysee, Berger, Hill, Villeneuve. And look at how damaged Hill and Villeneuve are. I suspect we might see both Williamses into the pits. As look, as Mika Salo able to do better in that Tyrrell. Yeah, into the pits come the 2 Williamses. This is not their day on German soil. Odysee and Berger having their own little squabble though. They need to calm this down somewhat because they've let Michael Schumacher get away with it. Look at Pedro Lamy on soft tyres without damage. And they're fresh. Don't know if make a difference. Schumacher pops a lap on Rosset, who's battling with Herbert. And into the pits comes Jean Alesi. Olivier Panis up into, well, very, very briefly, third place. Now down to fourth as the Williams of Villeneuve gets through. And I think that'll be the Williams of Damon Hill getting through too. He's doing a good job to just not mind them and just let them do their own thing. He's on course potentially for a 7th position, I think, by the time all that's done. Coulthard 2 stopping. It's a problem when you get caught up in all the damage that's going on. And this is now what's starting to happen to Michael Schumacher. Up in a lap on Johnny Herbert Sauber. Herbert running 16th, not having his strongest run. But when you look at the damage that Berger's got, and look at how quickly Villeneuve and Hill have caught back up again. This is the power of stopping, getting your damage back and being able to run at full capacity. And look, Berger tries to defend, nothing he can do about it. Villeneuve steams through into second place. And now, pretty much Michael Schumacher's committed, because look at the Williamses. That looked like it just, well, Hill up in diving through on Villeneuve. As long as they don't take each other out, they've got the pace here on Michael Schumacher to come back through. And yeah, the 0 stoppers. This is not working, I think, potentially for Michael Schumacher or Gerhard Berger. I think it might work for Olivier Panis, just judging by where he was to everyone else. But how quick Villeneuve and Hill are here. And here comes Damon Hill immediately through, and Villeneuve follows. Schumacher tries to do the tighter line at the end of sector 2, does not work out. Villeneuve gets through too, and look, shuffled down with 2 to go. Where's Jean Alesi in this? Could Schumacher be punted off the podium from what looked like a almost certain win? Looks like it might do to me. Oh, Alesi straight in there in trouble. But meanwhile, up front, Hill and Villeneuve at it. Villeneuve less damage. They've got Fisichella to deal with. Hill's up front and I think okay for now. Here comes Alesi round the outside of the final corner. Great run by him. Takes the battle to Michael Schumacher, gets it through. Villeneuve pushing Hill round. Fisichella really causing problems, as is Dinners, but Dinners slides out the way, and that could be Damon Hill's gift. And I think it is. Damon Hill is going to cross the line to win the Grand Prix ahead of Jacques Villeneuve. Alesi did keep ahead of Schumacher for 3rd and 4th. Berger will come home in 5th position. Olivier Panis is going to hold on to 6th. Great run for him in the Ligier, ahead of Irvine, then Hakkinen, Frentzen in the top 10 on home soil, ahead of Brundle. Then it was Barrichello, Coulthard, Fisichella. Is Fisichella going to hold off Verstappen? That's a great run for the Minardi driver if he can get 13th. So much was the damage and drama that was caused early on. Superb run for the Minardi team. Then it was Verstappen, Diniz, Herbert, Rosset, Sarlo, Lamy, Katayama, and stunningly, last place for David Coulthard. Wow. Way too many pit stops for him. Not a good run at all. So season's bests there for Fisichella and Ricardo Rosset. And Olivier Panis. So what does that do to the tables? That pushes Damon Hill to the top. Michael Schumacher losing out, now 6 points behind our championship leader. Alesi's been caught by Villeneuve in that battle. Hakkinen ahead of Berger, but only just. Barrichello stays ahead of Irvine, who's sandwiched in the Jordans. There you go. Panis now pops up into the top 10 after saying that he was down in 15th. Such is the midfield squabble. Verstappen punching above his weight. Coulthard 15th. What's happened? It's had an awful season so far. Fisichella has scored more than Ukyo Katayama. Crazy. And there's Lamy, almost caught by Ricardo Rosset in the battle for the wooden spoon. The constructors, all that meant that Ligier got to leapfrog Sauber, interestingly. Footwork keep ahead of Tyrrell. Minardi getting plenty of points. So here we are at Hungary next. Berger, hello. Gerhard fancies having a pole position. Can he keep it though? Looks like in the second half of the lap he'll... oh, look at Jean Alesi. Where did that come from? That was a boost and a half. Like a 4-pack. And well, from one Benetton to another. Jean Alesi then taking the pole position. Nicely done. Ahead of Hill. So Benetton Williams, then it's Schumacher. David Coulthard 8th in the McLaren, desperate for something. Herbert up in 9th, ahead of Diniz in 10th as well, so good run by him. Lestella from Palace down in 16th and Frentz in 15. Again, Katayama not quite delivering. So, Alesi, soft tyres, that's bold. Ooh, so tight into turns 1 and 2. And look at Berger, diving bomb through, up into second. And that's let Hill in the hard tyres take the lead of the race. Crazily. Alesi, normally when you're on soft tyres, the idea is that you can try and get ahead and do something on it. He's managed to get and keep ahead of Berger, but that's not worked out well for him at all. Villeneuve then steam bombs through down the straight past Berger. Irvine having a good run in the lead Ferrari. Soft tyre shod though versus Michael Schumacher's hard tyres, and there's Alesi now popping back up to the top of the bottle cork into the lead ahead of Villeneuve. Look at Irvine trying to get round Berger. Made the dive bomb, and it's one of those ones where if you don't quite make the move, you then get caught out on the next corner round that back end of the circuit. Schumacher battles with Berger. Looking further back, Verstappen up to 9th in the footwork. Great run. Salo 10 on hard tyres. That's good for him. Panis on soft trying to get round Herbert. Herbert looking very damaged there, unfortunately. Brundle right the way down the back of the field and making an error. And that's Rosset and Katayama struggling at the back. I think we might see a pit stopper or two at the end of that lap. Oh, we'll see a few. Barrichello and Brundle both in there. Diniz after a good pit, qualifying right the way down the back. Rosset pitting 2. So Alesi, he's not pulling away. He's dragged Jacques Villeneuve with him. Benetton and Williams having their squabble. They've got enough of a gap on Hill at the moment and Michael Schumacher. Coulthard up in 5th. Lovely to see the Scot doing well in the McLaren. That's Jacques Villeneuve. Well, he had the lead for a second, didn't he? Didn't quite last for long, and now he's going to take another go down into turn 1. Alesi wise to it, goes in wide and takes a tight line out. Keeps the lead for the time being in that Benetton. Oh, and Villeneuve making a mistake going wide. Now, of course, Alesi's on soft tyres. They're going to be starting to peak out soon. Hill's got a long way to go and could, in theory, make his hard tyres go 0 stopping. Now, we've seen this on several circuits, and in general, 0 stopping is not working for people. So maybe that's not the best way to deal with it, as Villeneuve retakes the lead. Managed to stay ahead more than a couple of seconds this time. Alesi pincered into the inside of the corner. Here comes Hill. But look at Hill. Hill's kept his boost. Villeneuve has not. Oh, that didn't work at all for Damon Hill. He's still got some boost. I would be wise to using it down the straight. Villeneuve into the pits. So he's chopping this race in half. I wonder if he's going softs or mediums. He's going softs as the McLarens go at it for what is 5th and 4th position. Häkkinen versus Coulthard. Häkkinen's tyres are better. Coulthard's got more worn tyres and slightly less damage though. So Villeneuve out there. Berger's in there too, just behind on mediums. And oh, Villeneuve smashing into the back of Mika Häkkinen. That could push him into the pits. Indeed it does. Oh look, Häkkinen smacking into the pit lane. That is a problem. I think we could have a real issue there for Mika Häkkinen. Limping around. Schumacher there retaking him, which I think will be music to his ears. But look at this. Alesi out ahead of Michael Schumacher, who really wasn't part of that initial battle and conversation, but just where you come out in regards to traffic, tyres, and just having a good run of things really makes a difference. Hill yet to stop, leads the way. Villeneuve closing him down quite quickly actually in second. Then it's Alesi. Berger losing out to Michael Schumacher, who's now on the fresh tyres. Berger on the mediums just behind. Then it's David Coulthard his best showing this season. Mika Salo in 9th, having stopped in that Tyrrell. Great run by him, and he's about to have 8th in a second if he can get round Frentzen. But look, Mika Häkkinen. Oh! Excellent stuff. And now Frentzen's just done the same thing as what Häkkinen did. Manages to get into the pits. Not a good move there by the Sauber driver. Comes out just behind and immediately retakes Pedro Lami's Minardi. Hill coming round to lap Ukyo Katayama. Nice tight field, actually, to be fair. Katayama not having a good season. Schumacher then versus Odysee. Very tricky. And Damon Hill now in the traffic. Look at how quick Villeneuve was catching him up. That was 3.7 seconds. It's now 1.3. Schumacher stays ahead of Odysee. Then it's Berger. Häkkinen now up into 6th. Salo 7. Not for long. Is for long. Well done. Mika Salo 7th place. Really doing well in that Tyrrell. Then it's Coulthard. Verstappen having another strong race. Herbert's made the best of a slightly wonky job. Fisichella in 14th in that Minardi, battling the Ligiers, really running well, as I think we've seen Villeneuve take the lead. Yes, look at that, and Schumacher's through as well. Damon Hill, this is a reverse-a-roo of what's just happened at the previous circuit. And now look, Michael Schumacher's attacking Villeneuve. The two of them going toe-to-toe. Hill's got no response because his tyres are knackered. And so, as we come around to the penultimate lap, Schumacher there got given a penalty for 3 seconds. Through goes both Williamses. Hill clinging on. And look, a dive bomb for the lead from Damon Hill. He shouldn't really be able to battle with those knackered hard tyres. But such is the way how boost and slipstreaming works in this game. He's able to cling on just about. Villeneuve shuffles Schumacher back to 3rd. Not for long. He gets pincered onto the grass. Odyssee's in on the action too. 4 drivers potentially to win this final race, and look, Schumacher using his boost early on, and now look at this, Lamy, Brundle and Panis all in a squabble for position, and now they've got blue flags. Schumacher trying to get through. They're all going to get pincered together, nearly half the grid going around the same corner all together on the final lap. Oh look, into the gravel. Brundle and Hill went. That's allowed Villeneuve and Odysee through, and that has ruined it for Damon Hill on the last lap. Michael Schumacher wins. Villeneuve 2nd, Odysee 3rd. Hill knocked off the podium right at the death of the race. Then it was Berger, Häkkinen, Salo, a superb 7. And a huge gap back to Frentzen and Verstappen. Coulthard in the top 10. Then Herbert. Is Irvine going to lose out to Fisichella? That Ferrari looks knackered. He is. Through goes Barrichello as well. Oh, terrible race by Irvine. And for Olivier Panis too, and Ukyo Katayama. So, some real winners and losers there. Hill looked like he was going to get that win. Didn't even get a podium. Schumacher there, and that will throw the scales of where the championship is going again. From Hill to Schumacher. Salo a superb 7. In fact, good run by both Finns there, for Häkkinen grabbing 6th too. Frentzen, good run for the Sauber team, with Herbert in 11th too. Valuable points for them. Valuable points for McLaren, with Coulthard also backing up Häkkinen with a 10. Minardi's best of the season, 12th for Giancarlo Fisichella, doing a fine piece of work. Not good runs for Irvine. Jordan really underperforming there, only 11 points between the two of them. Panis only getting the 2 points. Katayama scoring nothing at all, and actually is now behind Fisichella even further in the standings there. Look at that. David Coulthard, despite getting a 10th place, still sitting 15th overall. What's that done to everyone else? Frentzen now is kind of in that best of the rest category from 9th position onwards, although it really shouldn't be there in that position. And look, the swing, 4 points now to Schumacher. Williams leading the way, constructors wise. And look, McLaren caught by Jordan and overtaking them for 4th overall. Sauber ahead of Ligier too. Spa's next, approaching halfway. It's the widest La Source corner I've ever seen in a game. Rosset having a terrible start there. I don't know what happened to him. It is the Bennettons and the Williamses well out front. Schumacher trying to keep a watching brief. Ligier's looking like they're having a strong run of things too. Indeed they are. So Williams front row lockout ahead of Benetton's, Ferraris behind. Panis then best of the rest in 7. Din is 9 for Ligier. Great run for that team. Verstappen running a good race too. Rosset nowhere to be seen in that one. So Hill on the soft tyres, as is Michael Schumacher. Expect them to try and steamroll their way through, and Hill using all of his boost very early on in that lap to try and get through, as is everyone pretty much off the line. Crazy stuff there. The Ligier's on mediums and hards, so they could potentially be a bit of a bottleneck. The Tyrrell's also both on hard tyres. And Rosset just not in the game on this one. Already a second off on his own. But Hill well out front, 1.2 seconds the advantage. I've not seen that at the beginning of any race so far this season. Schumacher now up into second, will start to work on closing that down, and indeed he is already. Ooh, Odysee taps the back of Berger, and that allows Irvine through. Coulthard on soft tyres too in that McLaren, I think will be quite juicily looking to get through on stuff. Hakkinen gets around Panis in the background, and into the pits comes Diniz and Barrichello. Very early pit stops for both of those. Again, Katayama and Rosset, not good starts at the back of the field. Hill and Schumacher though, something tells me that Ferrari's faster. As we go around La Source and through Eau Rouge and Radion. Look at the way out. Schumacher is just closing down that Williams. They're well clear of everyone else. This is a 2 and a bit horse race, depending on how Villeneuve plays into it. Odysee in the hard tyres now ahead of Berger, Irvine. Coulthard showing some smoke behind him. Oh, Panis with a penalty, and that's going to ruin his race. Down to 13th he goes. Now stuck behind Fisichella and Sarlo. Oh, and into the pits, as is Berger in the Benetton. And that would have hurt Fisichella too. One of the things with this track, though, is that yes, you get caught out with some of the pit stop stuff, but the pit stop cuts off some of La Source, so it actually works quite nicely for making multiple stops in this track. Panis back out there and immediately getting to work, getting around Rosset and Barrichello and Katayama. Next up is his teammate, and he's through him too. Good lap there of recovery by Ollie P. Up front, look at that. The Minardis, 13th and 14th, Fisichella and Lamy. Lamy really running well and ahead of Frentzen and Sauber, bizarrely. Verstappen up in 8th, running another fine race for him. But it really is a 2-horse race up front. Hill versus Schumacher. Schumacher's used less boost down that straight. He can afford to. He's got the slipstream. Hill really has to keep him at bay. Does so nicely as they get through things. Panis has somehow managed to lose all of those places and drop back down to 19th again. Clearly not his best life. Now coming around to lap Rosset quite soon, actually. Into the pits. Anyone coming? Doesn't look like it. Verstappen doing well. Sarlo being overtaken for 10th by Berger. Lamy continuing round in 12th. This could be his best run of the season so far as Fisichella pits and rejoins lapped. No, Hill's in, as is Schumacher. Villeneuve then into the lead on his medium tyres. Again, this projects that he'll need to pit before the end. He was closing up a little bit on our leading duo, but they had such an advantage. I don't know if it really mattered. Odysee up into second, then it's Hill and Schumacher. Hill popping a lap on Ricardo Rosset, who immediately pits for his first stop. Barrichello's pitted twice. Terrible run for him out in 19th. Schumacher already ahead of Irvine, who's not pitted. That's an interesting way to take Eau Rouge, Eddie. Showing that style and spirit. As they all are, to be fair. Herbert running a good race up in 7th, yet to pit, and I don't think he'll want to pit in that Sauber as Berger gets through. He just needs to keep it clean, is how those types of races work. Katayama in for Tyrrell, and that is Hill trying to work his way back through. Well clear of Schumacher by 2 and a bit seconds. as he smashes Olivier Panis out the way, who I think will probably pop into the pits, and Villeneuve's in as well, so that puts Jean Alesi into the lead. Hard tyres. I don't think he wants to stop. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything to stop holding Damon Hill up as they pop a lap on Mika Salo, who's been into the pits. Yes, he has. Out in 15th. That's not placed him in the best places, actually. Same with Frentzen, who's leapfrogged that Tyrrell during all of that kind of malarkey. Look at Schumacher immediately steaming through, making much lighter work of this traffic than Alesi is. Lamy and Diniz. Lamy makes a mistake. Oh dear. Well, the lap traffic gets out of the way for Alesi and Schumacher. Who's going to be the best of them, though, as they pop a lap on Pedro Diniz? Well, they push Pedro Diniz round, basically. Lamy in for his only stop in the race. That's not worked out well for the Minardi driver. Alesi keeping ahead. This has gifted the win, basically, to Damon Hill. 3.5 seconds up the road. Alesi has done a sterling piece of work to hold this Benetton in second place. Schumacher's there, and look, Villeneuve has now recaught Schumacher again and is there, ready to go. Oh, they catch themselves out again. Frentzen looking a bit knackered. That's allowing Salo to get through in that battle for 12th and 13th. Keeps Verstappen clear as well. Look, Alesi chopping off Schumacher. It's real problematic. But Villeneuve into second. 3.5 seconds behind, though. Damon Hill making light work of the Herbert and Verstappen battle for 10th and 11th. Great stuff. Alesi still clear of Schumacher. And really, it's all kind of petered out everywhere else. There were some good battles going on up and down the field, but Damon Hill gifted that win because of Jean Alesi's amazing tactics to keep himself in third place, amazingly, to keep that podium where other drivers on hard tyres have not been able to zero stop. Then it was Schumacher, Irvine, Berger, Brundle. Is that going to be Hakkinen managing to get home in 8th? Yes, it is. Coulthard 9. Verstappen will be 10th, a lap down. Then it will be Herbert, who also has zero stopped, interestingly. Well done to Johnny Herbert. I don't think it quite worked out for him, because look, Verstappen in the footwork beat him with a clean drive to 10th place. Then it was Frentzen, Barrichello, Diniz, Salo, Lamy, Fisichella. That might be Lamy's best race result so far. Torrid times for Panis and Katayama, and Rosset was the non-scorer who looked off the pace all race weekend. And that, of course, gifts some more points to Hill. And Villeneuve, to be fair, in the battles against Schumacher and Alesi. Berger now pops up in 5th, ahead of Hakkinen. Irvine moving up into 7th. It's starting to shake itself out a little bit now, isn't it? Frentzen still showing up as best of the rest. Verstappen punching well above his weight. Coulthard now scoring higher than Pedro Diniz. McLaren back ahead of Jordan. Sauber pulling away from Ligier though. And Tyrrell haven't quite caught footwork. So, Monza is next. This is all about the straight line speed and the braking. Look at that. You can see which cars have it and which cars do not. And Jacques Villeneuve, who certainly has the balls. Oh, look at Berger. Left his boost right for the end of the lap there. That has thrown the cat well among the Austrian pigeons. But Villeneuve grabs pole. And Berger, Hill, Schumacher, Alesi, Barrichello doing well for Jordan. That car I did set up to have high straight line speed. Diniz, great run for him. Both McLarens in the top 10. Katayama out qualifying Salo, I think for the first time this year in that Tyrrell. And there's Villeneuve. Soft tyres, as is Michael Schumacher. Could be problematic because, Coulthard having a torrid time out of turn 1. It could be a problem because, frankly, slipstreaming and boost is the huge thing here. And as you can see, They've been swallowed up slightly by Berger and Odysee. Medium and hard-tired Benetton shod cars. Hill clinging on in the Williams. Ooh, Odysee pushed out into that gravel. That is a pincer move that happens quite often. Villeneuve at the second chicane as well in trouble. And Hill out of Lesmo too. Real kicking up the dirt problems going on across the field. Katayama showing up in 12th. That's his best run so far, at least at the beginning of a race. Again, Rosset 2 seconds off everyone else. What on earth's happened there? But Schumacher into the lead, head of Villeneuve. There we go. Soft tyre shod 1-2. That surprises me that they've been able to make that work. I think it's more down to the fact that everyone keeps making errors. Hakkinen there, not able to shake Coulthard and Barrichello just yet. Panis on his own. Katayama retakes Diniz. Brundle in soft tyres into the pits. Yeah, look, everyone in. Diniz, Brundle, Verstappen, Herbert, all in trouble very early on. And there are the leaders. Very short lap round here, just the 20 seconds. Here comes Villeneuve across the line. Ooh, he overbaked it. He's overbaked it there too. This is gifting Michael Schumacher a nice 1 second advantage. Here comes Gerhard Berger. Always a fan of the fast circuits, having a go at Villeneuve, not able to do anything with it. But it's so tempting to just do a dive bomb down at turn 1. They can't do it there. It's all around that boost and then whether or not you overcook it into the corner or not. Hakkinen there gently plopped off by Barrichello into the barriers, or gravel, sorry. Coulthard just behind, Panis on his own, Frentzen, Katayama well clear of the rest. Then it's Salo, Lamy, Fisichella. And there are the pitters now starting to get their way past Ricardo Rosset's footwork. Brundle leading them. Hard-tired shod. He'll be making it all the way to the end. Wow, what looked like a good run. Oh, problems there. Verstappen and Herbert, penalties. Let's drop them well off the bat. Oh, Schumacher, that's a mistake. 1.7 seconds. Now 1.3. Admittedly, there's a Herbert and a Verstappen between them. Ooh, Berger gets round one, gets round the other. Yes, he does. Schumacher into the pits, bang on half distance, as is Jacques Villeneuve. This could work out quite nicely because, look, they're coming back out, Schumacher specifically, into cleanish air. Irvine going to try and go around the outside. Ooh, Curva Grande, Curva Sandpit by the looks of that. Somehow managed to keep that from being a absolute cluster. Only lost a second. Salo in the Tyrrell as well. And that's Villeneuve about to go around the outside of Rubinho. Rubin says no. Oh, well that worked out beautifully for Jacques. Through he goes up into what is now 5th position. Schumacher though really in the thick of the lapped cars. Fisichella in. He's got through them though. As has Hill and Berger, and look, they've both run out wide. Schumacher's got that grip and the speed, and look at that, absolutely Mullers. Hill and Gerhard Berger up into 2nd position he goes. Odysee's not far up the road though, that's the big thing. Whilst Odysee gets past Diniz, there's Schumacher going for it, and just look at the way how Schumacher's able to not dip his tyres into things, and everyone else seems to be doing so. I did make Schumacher actually the strongest driver stat, I think, out there. Frentzen in the pits for Sauber. He joins just behind. Oh, that's Katayama running 11th. Yet to stop, though, in that Tyrrell. That might not work in his favour. He's gone a bit long. Into the pits again, Herbert and Irvine. They're not having good races. Barrichello looks knackered as well in that Jordan, which could be problematic. And Odysee choosing not to stop. He's got a gap. This is going to be dependent on how well Villeneuve goes on these tyres. Look, the medium tyred drivers really struggling with that turn 1. Barrichello being absolutely spanked off the road. Running 6th. In theory, this could work quite nicely if he can stay clean. Not sure he'll be able to though, because of the rate of how Irvine and Hakkinen are closing in on him. Katayama into the pits. That's not worked for the Tyrrell driver. Hill in as well. Look, 5th place. This is not good for the championship. Back out again immediately. Just the way how he steams past all of these cars. If you're going to bail out, you should have done it earlier, mate. Well off the pace from the top 4. And here is Michael Schumacher. Serenely done. Amazingly, there is Jean Alesi in Prix, about to be 3rd, because Villeneuve's going to take him, as Michael Schumacher takes the win with a huge margin of 5.5 seconds. Stunning stuff there from Villeneuve. Then it's Alesi, Berger. Oh, Ricardo Rosset looking like he's about to blow up over the line. Has to come into the pits. Then it's Hill. Irvine comes home 6th. Hakkinen 7. Barrichello in real trouble. He's going to get 8th, just about ahead of Frentzen. Then Coulthard. Olivier Panis. Katayama's still going to get 12th out of all of that. Lapped down ahead of Brundle. Pedro Lamy, his best finish of the season, 14th. Then Sarlo, Verstappen, Herbert, Diniz, Fisichella, Ricardo Rosset. And that throws even more points towards Michael Schumacher to win. Hill there really didn't do any favours with that strategy whatsoever. It would have been better for him to just cling on, I think, and hope for the best. Villeneuve, then the 2 Benettons, ahead of Hakkinen and Irvine. Frentzen and Verstappen. Coulthard now moving up into 12th, slowly making his way back up into the where he should be really, in the top 10 in the stand-ins. Rosset still yet to hit double digits. Just 2 points between Tyrrell and Footwork. Tyrrell have been making some slow strides forward, which is good for the team. Benetton aren't that far behind Ferrari either, as we end up at Suzuka. And what looks like a juicy pole lap. And a good start there by Villeneuve, but look, some people don't use their stuff early on. So Schumacher looking really good in what is 4th and 5th position, and he's left some boost. So he's going to use some of that, I think, quite strategically out of this last couple of corners. Pops himself into the lead. Nicely done. I think Michael Schumacher grabbed himself a very juicy pole position. Indeed he does, ahead of Villeneuve and Hill. Frentzen up in 8th. Good run by him. Soft tyres for Schumacher and for Hill and Berger. Villeneuve on hard, and Villeneuve takes the lead. Oh dear. Bottleneck, not great for them. Alesi's on soft as well. Lots of soft runners around this. Villeneuve being absolutely cakewalked around the outside there by Schumacher, who gets into the lead. Oh, Villeneuve makes a mistake. Through goes Hill and Berger. And that looks like Irvine and Alesi are about to go through as well. That's really been 2 corners of absolute hell for Jacques Villeneuve. Alesi steamrolls around the outside. Through the S's they go. How they've managed to not all smash each other off the track, no idea. But look at that, a Ferrari 1-2. This is the right time for Irvine to come of age. He's certainly done that. What was a stunning lap, and then into the lead briefly there by Eddie Irvine. How did that happen? Well done to the swerve in Irvine. Then it's Hill, Barrichello and Berger and Panis getting involved there. Villeneuve absolutely dropping like a stone. There's a real difference clearly between the tyres on this specific track. But look, Schumacher, Alesi, Irvine all squabbling for the lead like absolute mad people. Up front, that looked like Alesi was about to do an absolute banzai around the outside. Indeed he does. What a move by Jean Alesi. Superb stuff. Then it was Irvine, Hill, Berger, Panis up there. Barrichello, oh, that was a shame. Here comes Villeneuve trying to make something back again as we reach the points where the soft tyres are starting to ever so slightly go past their point of perfection. Hakkinen steamrolls past Barrichello, then it's Diniz, Frentzen, Coulthard, Sarlo, Herbert, Verstappen, Lamy, Katayama, Brundle. Terrible there to see the Jordan down in 18th. Rosset and Fisichella looking a bit broken in that Minardi at the back of the field. But it is Odysee, Schumacher, Irvine and Hill. They're starting to sort themselves out now, but now it's starting to become a little bit more argy-bargy related as Häkkinen there gets past Villeneuve. Yeah, they have really kind of become single file for most of this as they cross the line onto lap 6 of 16. So Häkkinen having a go around the outside of Panis. Good move by the McLaren driver, then goes onto the grass, but Panis there hitting the back of him. That was not a good move. That might trigger an early stop for him. Hill and Irvine, I think, are also damaged enough to maybe dive in a lap or two earlier than they would expect or want to. We've got any pit takers as they go past. Yes, Irvine's the first one to try it. Everyone else sliding through. Where does Irvine come back out again? Behind Coulthard on the hards? Yes, he does. Down in 12th place. Head of Salo. Who leads the second half of the field. That's Verstappen back out in 20th and last. Soft tyres. So here's Odysee. I think Hill will be in this time. Yes, he will. And then Jacques Villeneuve on the outside of Panis. He's trying to use the boost to sort that one out, but it didn't really work. As the soft tyres start to now really play problems. But here is Hill and Irvine. Both have pitted. Now coming up behind Heinz-Howard, Frentzen and Sauber. For position. There's more in the pits. Odysee, Panis, Berger, and they're all out behind. Or are they? I think Odysee's got out ahead. Yes, he has. And there's a Barrichello between them. Wow, Odysee really on fire on this track. Out on soft tyres. Going nuts for it. Hill on the mediums. Not the pace. Irvine on softs. Really struggling with this traffic of Barrichello and Frentzen. Barrichello should pit. He does. But look at that wrong footing for Irvine. He gets a penalty for pushing off Frentzen. Berger gets past a lot. And Häkkinen leapfrogs them all by having a clean stop. Wow, that was really problematic there for Eddie Irvine, who, remember, was battling for the lead of this race earlier on. And there's Jean Odysee diving through on lap 10 of 16 to take the lead on new soft tyres. Villeneuve pits on the hards. That's not worked for him at all. He's going to have it all to do, and these guys have all got nothing left to deal with. Hill's hoping that that medium tyre will be enough to kind of have enough of an effort of grip to see him through those last couple of laps, because Odysee has certainly had good pace. Schumacher still clinging on there. Shout out for Häkkinen in the McLaren. It's been a while since we've seen a McLaren still strong towards the end of a race here. Having a squabble with Berger. Can't do anything with it there. Oh, Berger runs out deep though. He's used his boost. Häkkinen uses more around the outside. But the old hairpin. Berger keeps the place. Schumacher's there. Here's Hill. Ooh, Rosset getting past Fisichella because he pushed him out the way because Hill hit him. Back up front, lap 13. Wow! What was that from Damon Hill? Bumper cars, and he had boost and takes the lead in that Williams. Medium tyres, I think, might have just saved Damon Hill's bacon there. Odysee into second, Schumacher third, then it's Berger, Häkkinen, Irvine. Panis and Villeneuve battling away. Villeneuve, this has not worked for him at all, starting on the hard tyres. Coulthard not pitted yet, and he's in. That's not worked for him either. Through goes Barrichello. Frentzen and Diniz might get him too. Herbert's just got round Mika Salo. Brundle's had a torrid time in that Jordan. Down in 17th behind Lami's Minardi. Here comes Hill to lap the Englishman. Well, soft tyres, certainly order of the day. But I think this might now start to swing even further into Hill's favour. Or will it? Hello. Monsieur Odysee has woken up. Oh, no, he's not. The problems out of that final chicane. The Casio triangle, as I remember it, from this time of period of era. Hill pops a lap on Pedro Lamy though. That could well save him. Berger has caught back up, but it's too late. Same for Hakkinen, he's too far seconds behind. Although Villeneuve just got Irvine for 6th place, so that's worked out as some damaged recovery. But Damon Hill wins on the mediums ahead of Odysee and Schumacher. Berger. There is Mika Hakkinen coming home in a strong 5th. Villeneuve 6th, then Irvine, Olivier Panis, Rubens Barrichello. Frentzen and Sauber rounds out your top 10 ahead of Coulthard, Diniz, Sarlo, Herbert, Verstappen, Brundle, Lamy, Katayama, Rosset and Fisichella. So that puts Rosset onto double points, or double digit points rather. But still Lamy, the next guy further up the chain, has more than double him. Katayama not quite got ahead of Fisichella still, bizarrely. Tyrrell certainly underperforming. And there you can see Hill now 2 points ahead of Schumacher in the standings. Constructors, it's looking good for Williams. Ferrari need Irvine to be scoring a bit more to make sure that they stay clear of Benetton. Coulthard need to score more for McLaren. Brundle need to score more for Jordan. And there we go, Tyrrell finally now ahead of Footwork. Germany next. So this was the European Grand Prix in 1996. The home of Jacques Villeneuve's first ever F1 win. Are we going to see him grab a pole position at the same time, I wonder? He's got plenty of boost to use, and he's used it down that final back straight towards what I remember being called the Vidal chicane. I think it's a Schumacher chicane now, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah, good runs all round for Jacques Villeneuve to take pole from his teammate. Good run by Brundle up into 7th in the Jordan. Rosset off the back row. And the Minardi is on the back row for the first time, I think, this season. Interesting. Alright. Ooh, that's a squeeze down at turn 1. That looked like a few drivers there being pushed out slightly wide, but Villeneuve's got it over Hill and Schumacher. Schumacher on the soft tyres though. Ooh, Berger doing a real tank slapper, causing problems for everyone bunching up behind. But out front, it is definitely Villeneuve leading the way. I think that's Odysee going to have a go at Schumacher. Hill trying to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. Stays in 4th and then hits Schumacher down at the first corner. Of course, this is the new layout for Nürburgring. They raced on the old one where it was a chicane at turn 1 rather than that hairpin. Coulthard getting around Frentzen. Hakkinen looking to do the same. Verstappen battling with Barrichello for 9 and 10. Good run by Verstappen up front early on. Sarlo on hard tyres also clinging on in 14th, doing a decent enough job too. Into the pits comes Johnny though. Well, Johnny Herbert in the Sauber, not had too much luck this season. We'll see how that plays out for him. He's back out in softs though, so he'll need to do a second stop. Minardi's Odysee's. Odysee's Minardi. No, that's not what I meant either. Benetton's Odysee lead the way on the medium tyres. That's what I was trying to say. Schumacher and Irvine in. Both Ferraris pitting early due to damage. Ooh, gets out just alongside Sarlo. Going a long way round. Hard-tyred shod Ferrari. Will need to make light work of Sarlo and Panis, and it's not really happening around the outside of that excellent Dunlop hairpin. And now he's got the advantage as he comes up to the back of Gerhard Berger, who's got Barrichello and Frentzen just up ahead. Oh, Damon Hill, that's a problem. I don't know if there was contact between him and Odysee, but Villeneuve was the one that capitalised most. Has steamed through. He's very damaged as Hill has to retake second position back again. Odysee now down from first to fourth as Hakkinen gets through too. Oh, and there's problems. The Williamses take each other off and they don't manage to make the pit lane. Villeneuve's going to need to limp around with that damage. And look at the way how he's dropping off the back there. Frentzen up to third now in the Sauber, yet to stop. Great heights for him. Ooh, Katayama getting shuffled off by Irvine. That wasn't a pleasant looking drive for the Japanese driver. But yeah, look, Hill continues on. Villeneuve does come into the pits. He's lost time though, I think. And look at that. Frentzen retaking what is now second place in that Sauber from Michael Schumacher. And this is the problem. You pit early, you go onto the harder tyres, you're going to have more problems getting past the traffic. Hill, to be fair, is only 3 seconds leading Heinz-Harald Frentzen, who's doing a sterling job in that Sauber. Probably his strongest run so far this season. Now he's got Hakkinen, who's pitted in that McLaren, who's again having a very solid run in their Mercedes-powered car, up into what is now third, gets round Frentzen. Odysee is going to try and get through. Yes. He's going to have Hakkinen as well. That was a poor exit by the Finnish driver. But they're all ahead of Villeneuve. That's what this has all caused. Hill goes around again, medium tyres. But look, Schumacher doesn't need to... Well, he might need to pit again, potentially, but he might not need to because he's already done, what was it, 2 laps before he came in as a Ferrari and then switched on to hards. This is Schumacher's potential race to win. Odysee's there and thereabouts. Then it's Hakkinen, Villeneuve, Irvine, Berger. Frentzen has pitted, come back out on the soft tyres. That could see him beautifully through to a great result. Head of Coulthard. Katayama yet to pit, up in the top 10 though in the Tyrrell. You can see just how much time is lost through some of these like slidier corners. Irvine in though. And that was soft to soft. Oh! 3-way into turn 1. Irvine, Barrichello, Katayama out and in that order. That will push Katayama to pit. He's too damaged. Brundle again battling with Pedro Lamy. This isn't the battle that I think Brundle thinks he should be having. Lamy yet to pit though in that Minardi. That's why he's busy battling away. Now Diniz gets through. I don't think that strategy is going to work out for the Portuguese driver. Herbert, 2 stops, soft tyres, now second last. What's happened there? As that is Katayama back out in 18th. Hopefully we'll be able to do some overtakes from there. Schumacher, though, leads the way on lap 12 of 16. And it should be quite serene because this is going to be around the time where Odysee's tyres are going to start to have a problem or not be quite as beautiful as they were before. Hakkinen, slightly worse tyres than Villeneuve. Hill's got the best tyres of the lot. We'll be closing them all down. Has he left it too late though? This is the big thing. Schumacher popping a lap on Pedro. That's Fisichella getting past Rosset. What's going on for third? Hello, Damon Hill. Back in the race. He's got 5.5 seconds to make up on Michael Schumacher in a couple of laps to go. Suddenly, has pitting late worked well rather than pitting early because of damage for Michael Schumacher? Look at Odysee struggling there, and if anything it's actually because Schumacher's had to do with traffic. Lamy and Rosset are behind him. Here comes Hill diving past Odysee for second position. Nicely done. And now the gap is what, 2.5 seconds? There's 2 cars between them, admittedly, but I don't think... Oh look, well, Ross's just disposed of himself there in the footwork, so that's not worked out in his favour in the slightest. And there's Schumacher. Pedro Lamy has pace in those soft tyres, and I think that shows really just how knackered old hard tyres are around this circuit, because he's losing what, 2 seconds odd a lap, and we're coming into the final lap now for Michael Schumacher. Yes, he's in the lead. There's a Minardi between them, but I think Damon Hill might just be able to sneak it on once again. A last lap sneakeroo or switcheroo. Diniz really struggling in that. Ligier as well. Katayama's got round both him and Brundle. And here comes Hill. Yeah, Ah. 0 stops or really early pit stops just aren't working for people. And across the line comes Damon Hill to win. Schumacher second. Odysee will be third, just ahead of Villeneuve. Then it's Barrichello who's got ahead of Eddie Irvine just. Is that going to be the same as they cross the line? Yes, it is. Then, is that Frentzen or is it going to be... Oof. No, it's Hakkinen, then Frentzen, then Panis, then Coulthard. That was tight. Berger, Salo, Herbert, Katayama. Good recovery from a late pit stop. Then Verstappen, Fisichella and Co. Good points for Tyrrell. Good points for Sauber with Frentzen there. Although he just missed out on 7th. So what does that do to the stand-ins? Hill still leading there from Schumacher. Odysee now ahead of Villeneuve again. Berger clear of Hakkinen. Clear of Irvine. Barrichello's got a big gap over Frentzen and Panis, who has now leapfrogged Brundle into 10th place. Coulthard 12th. Can't even read. Interesting. And Katayama with that nearly caught up with Fisichella. And interestingly, Salo's now nearly caught Diniz. Salo's been scoring quietly good points. And that's moved Tyrrell away from footwork in all of that. It's a Brazil! And then after this, it's going to be absolute hell's bells as to what actually happens. Because the last 4 race tracks are AI built, like community workshop built ones. And the AI lines are tricky to get right. Hill leads the way though. Has anyone left some booth left? They have. Villeneuve and Schumacher have. And look at the way how that really affects them down this straight. And that gifts Villeneuve, I think, potentially a pole position. Indeed it does. Williams front row lockout. Benetton's, Ferraris and McLarens next up behind. Then the 2 Jordans, the 2 Ligiers. Sauber Tyrrell, Sauber footwork Tyrrell. Minardi footwork. Okay. There's always an awful lot going on down these straights because of how long on the throttle you are around this Brazilian layout. And so we'll need to see what happens with the boosts as they all go around. 4-way battle for the lead up front. Beautiful stuff there. Hill trying to cover everyone off with those hard tyres. Odysee's going to go around the outside. What's his boost usage like though? Ooh, quite a lot compared to other cars. And look, Schumacher's left his. He's trying to use it round there, which feels like the wrong place to use it personally. But there we go. Out the final corner though, Odysee leads the way. Now look at Schumacher using the last bit of boost a bit more effectively to leapfrog Damon Hill's hard-tyred Williams. Williams is on hards and mediums, will suffer early on against Odysee and Schumacher as they pull away. Irvine and Berger on hard tyres, and next up, further back, Villeneuve running out wide. That won't help him at all. Berger and Irvine having a squabble. Panis up into 7th in the soft shod Ligier. And look, that's what slipstreaming does. If you can get it right, it really works right for you. Up into 6th goes Olivier Panis. That's Irvine having a go at Villeneuve. Didn't quite work. Schumacher having a go a little bit at Odysee. Not too much though. And further back, Lamy in 16th looking decent. And again, Brundle really struggling there with Herbert and Verstappen. I think we might have 1 or 2 people pitting. Yep, David Coulthard first one in again. Damaged the English driver. Brundle and Verstappen in 2. Really showing that it's just not worked out well for them. So Coulthard rejoins ahead of Pedro Lamy, who'll be using that slipstream quite nicely. Verstappen gets out ahead of Salo, who's just not quite got things together in that Tyrrell. Tyrrell having a struggle this race. Schumacher, 1.3 seconds clear though of Odysee from Hill. Soft tyres last 7 to 12 laps. So this is going to be the start of the crossover point very soon, and you can see Hill retaking Odysee. Those hard tyres last 12 to 16. to me, that suggests that they'll need to pit. Ooh, Lacey. Jean. No, Jean. As Panis gets past Irvine somehow. Now up into 5th in the Ligier, doing a fine job. Irvine dropping back, as is Berger. I'd be trying to chop this race in half, personally, with just a soft run. 8 and 8. Into the pits comes Irvine, blasting past the McLaren goes Jordan's Barrichello. Hakkinen, smarter on the old loud pedal, out from that corner. Look at Irvine, fresh tyres. Get out of the way, Johnny. And Pedro Dinners, please. Dinners, please. Okay, Frentzen, Barrichello, closing down on Hakkinen. I thought they would both be into the pits. I'm surprised Hakkinen wasn't. Herbert looked like he was about to push Dinners into the pits with him. And there's the advantage of an early stop and some clear track. Look at that. Jos Verstappen up into 10th. Coulthard 11. But they've got soft tyres and speed and will be going for it. Herbert and Brundle getting back past the non-stop Lamy. And up front, it's the non-stop Williamses now out front. Hill leading from Villeneuve by 2.5 seconds, interestingly. Villeneuve's medium tyres will start to come to the end of their life now, so it should be good time to pit and dive onto soft tyres potentially to really maximise their strength. But he's not done so, and Michael Schumacher's closing them down at the rate of knots. Easily disposing of Ricardo Rosset. And look at that, a 1.5 second gap. Chomped away quicker than quicker than my belly in an all-you-can-eat buffet, quite frankly, as they cross the line. And again, Villeneuve not pitting. I can understand Hill trying to no-stop it, but Villeneuve will need to stop with those tyres, you'd think. Rosset making a hash of exiting that corner. Ooh, Berger making a hash of lapping Rosset, and that's allowed Odysee alongside in those soft tyres. They're better soft tyres, and he's got no damage. Easy 4th place there for Jean Odysee. And there we are, Salo Villeneuve into the pits, so that will become 3rd and 4th for Jean and Gerhard. Oh, and there's Irvine and Panis. Oh, Panis being Tyrrell pincered there, and that's allowed Villeneuve through. That's really buggered up Olivier Panis's run there for a couple of seconds. Verstappen up to 8th in the footwork, doing a fine job. Then it's Frentzen, Coulthard, Barrichello, Herbert, Hakkinen, looking so good early on. Really faded off to the back of the field. And yeah, naught stopping has not worked for quite a few people. Rosset finally pitting, but it's 3 laps to go. All a bit pointless. Pedro Diniz gets lapped by Damon Hill on the hard tyres, so it's 2.3 seconds. Look at the way how that's closing down all the time from Schumacher. Villeneuve being dragged along. Odysee being dragged along with him slightly. Berger, Irvine, Panis doing a good job. Verstappen, I'm really impressed with that footwork up in 8th on medium tyres as well. So we might have a little bit of a problem as Herbert, who did not look good early on in this race, looking good now. That could be 8th place for Johnny and his best finish, I think, of the season potentially to date. As we work our way through onto the final lap for Damon Hill. And it's going to be a drag race. Damon Hill versus Michael Schumacher. And Michael Schumacher's got it. Wow. At the line yet again. Schumacher yoinks it from Hill. Then it's Odysee, Villeneuve, Berger. It's going to be Irvine. Is it going to be Panis? It's going to be Olivier Panis getting 6th place ahead of Irvine. Johnny Herbert, a great recovery drive to 8th. Verstappen or Frentzen? Hines gets it. Great run from Sauber, 8th and 9th. That's, I think, their best double finish. Oh, Ukyo Katayama. He stopped it, as did Damon Hill, but that didn't work. His car was trashed. Last place for Katayama. No points for Tyrrell. Worst race of the season for the Japanese driver. So yeah, great run from Sauber though. That is key for them in their battle against Ligier. And it's 2 points up front. Hill versus Schumacher. This wasn't the battle I was expecting to see. Then it's Odysee and Villeneuve battling for third and fourth, 50 points off. Berger's got a decent gap over Häkkinen. I'm sure that's Häkkinen spelt wrong, by the way. I've just noticed. Frentzen and Panis still ahead of Brundle and Coulthard just about. That 8th place for Johnny. Bringing him closer to Verstappen though. Yep, there you can see. Ferrari only 25 points ahead of Benetton. They've got to really think there. Williams definitely are in charge of the constructors though. So, it's at this point, everything could go horribly wrong because these are going to be 4 tracks that I've not really tested properly that are from the workshop. 3 of them at least are from Nuno, who does do fantastic work. Get your teeth in, Simon. Let's try Estoril. Oh, God. Slightly different looking tarmac as we come across a line. I love the Estoril circuit. Personally, I think it was a really nice circuit to drive. I know that chicane was utterly nuts that they added in, but Portimao also very, very good circuit. Portimao was more for good elevation changes. Oh god, I can see that being a problem for AI. But they've all made it round, and it wasn't a complete stress. Who's got pole? I genuinely don't know. That looked quite close. Hill ahead of Odysee and Schumacher. Häkkinen up in the top 6. Good run. Both Jordans in the top 10. 2 Ligiers together. Nice. Okay, mediums, hards for quite a few people. Villeneuve and Irvine on soft. Ooh, slight pincers down at turn 1. I think we've got it. That turn 1 is clearly new Estoril, I guess, because that turn 1 was much more fluid in the olden days. But yes, up front, everyone off and away. Some stragglers at the back. Salo, Verstappen and Katayama. Again, Tyrrell just cannot get a break off the line. But up front, it looks like we're all doing okay. Ooh, Herbert and Frentzen, hard-tired, shod drivers. The pit lane's on the wrong side of the track as well, but we'll go with it. This is as close to Estoril as we're getting. As they battle away, the Minardi's doing a good job ahead of Rosset. Ooh, Verstappen there, really struggling. There seems to be an interesting brake line going on here. Some drivers are braking much heavier than others. Brundle's car is smoking an awful lot for a Jordan on lap 2. Especially on soft tyres as well. I think he's being wrong-footed there. Into the pits comes 3 Englishmen. There's a joke in there somewhere, probably with a pub. Coulthard, Brundle, Herbert all in. Stopping at different points as well. Loving that. Wish the standard car tracks would allow for that to happen too. As Schumacher trying to go around the inside of Odysee, does not work. Tries to switch a route into the chicane. Runs out wide. Villeneuve gets through. He'll well clear 2.5 seconds and on medium tyres, which means he will need to pit. But, and I think to be fair, everyone will need to pit. Even the hard tyres only last 12 laps. So this is going to be a multiple stop race, interestingly. Tyre wear really high. Odysee and Villeneuve battling away. Villeneuve's car is knackered though, and this is just playing even more into the hands of Damon Hill. Dinners and Frentzen have been into the pits too. Dropping to the back of the field, and look, Hill well clear. Tyres that will last longer. Villeneuve plobbing around. Ooh, what's that going on at the back? Jordan's, Minardi's and all kinds getting involved. Schumacher's in, as is Villeneuve. Oh, problems exiting there for Villeneuve. That will slow him down. Past goes Panis up into what is now 5th place in the Ligier, running his very much his own race there. Fissy Keller in the Minardi. Hello, what position's that? 8th in the Minardi. Beautiful stuff by the Italian driver. I wonder he'll get a Jordan drive next year. Salo yet to stop in the Tyrrell in 10th. There's Verstappen, Frentzen, Brundle. That's Barrichello getting around Katayama, who had that really slow start. Lamy and Rosset on their own. 7 seconds off the rest of the field, but at least they've stopped. There's Hill, Lacey, Irvine, Hakkinen. That's Panis being smashed out the way by Jacques Villeneuve. Again, you'll be making it to half distance and then probably sticking on another set of mediums, so it's working still okay for him. Schumacher, they stopped early, but it's a two-stopper he'll need to be on, as here's Irvine and Hakkinen having a squabble all onto the gravel for Hakkinen. The thing is that corner is so slow, you can almost get away with it. As you cross the line, Hakkinen's going to try and go around the outside. It's a boost to the corner. Hakkinen does just about make it from Irvine. Villeneuve, Schumacher around Panis now, down to 7th. Then it's Berger. Fisichella on his own in 9th. This is working beautifully for the Minardi driver. There's a potential here for a really good result for the Italian team. Then there's Brundle, Diniz, Herbert. Damaged and slow in that Sauber. Ooh, Salo and Verstappen and Barrichello. Smishy, smashy, smoshy. Barrichello's already stopped twice. He might need to stop a third time, you know, because those soft tyres, 6 to 9 laps. I mean, he could make it. He's got to stop smashing everyone else at the same time. Rosset and Lamy not really running fantastically, as that is Damon Hill popping a lap on Ricardo Rosset. Yeah, look at the way how that gravel caused problems. Rosset unlaps himself. Hill gets back through again. Lap 8, he's continuing on again. Could be wise. Lacey is closing him down, not down the straight, but in the corners with those hard tyres. They're working slightly better now. Then it's Villeneuve ahead of Schumacher down that straight. Hakkinen, Berger, Panis into the pits, bang on half distance. I would say that's probably the perfect strategy if he does another medium, and indeed he does. That's Coulthard through. That's Frentzen coming out, and Panis gets out just ahead of Giancarlo Fisichella's Minardi, who runs a little bit wide there. Frentzen has already pitted. He's on medium tyres. They're quite worn though, so we'll see how that kind of pans out. Panis, Diniz, Coulthard, Barrichello, Verstappen, Salo and Herbert. Katayama, Lamy and Rosset. Jean Alesi then leads the way. Hard tyres. He will need to pit, so I'd imagine he'll pit and switch to the softs. 4 seconds away from Jacques Villeneuve, who is closing him down. Schumacher's there too, and there's Hill. And he's gone for soft tyres. That surprises me. He's going to feel the pain of that right at the end of his stint, but I think he might be thinking, I want to get ahead of some of these drivers early on. And look, pushed Michael Schumacher into the gravel, round the outside. Job done, up into 3rd place, into the pits. I think that is Jean Alesi. Yes, it is. Now, he makes sense to go onto soft tyres. This could work out interestingly. Look, they're having problems lapping Ricardo Rosset. Oof. Bing, bang, a bong. And now it's the battle for the lead between the two Williamses. I think Hill will have it. Indeed he does. Into the lead ahead of Villeneuve. Then it's Michael Schumacher, Alesi, Irvine. Hakkinen gets round Gerhard Berger, who's just pitted for the 2nd time. Then it's Panis, Frentzen, Coulthard. Fisichella in 14th in that Minardi. That's Katayama rejoining. 19th. Not a good run for him, but he's on soft, so he should be able to clear Pedro Lamy with ease. Those top 3 final drivers, 7 seconds off the back of Brundle. Not good. Brundle's not having a good run with Barrichello either. The Jordans 16th and 17th. I think that's their worst race so far, but there's still plenty of time to go to watch this all pan and change out. Hill leads the way then from Villeneuve. That's Alesi going around the outside of Michael Schumacher. Interesting. And look, Villeneuve into the pits. His medium tyres are knackered. So is Michael Schumacher's. And that's going to play into the hands of Eddie Irvine. He's got relatively worn hard tyres, but they're not too dramatically worn as he pops a lap on Lamy. But they're well behind Hill and Alesi. Those two for the win, really. Then it's Irvine, Villeneuve, Hakkinen, Berger, Schumacher with now new tyres. Berger could well be and Hakkinen could well be problematically ruined here as they try and pop a lap on the Minardi driver. Again, everyone taken to the gravel. Panis on his own in 8th, well clear of everyone else. A real spread out field, interestingly. As Frentzen stopped twice. He was looking like a great top 10 candidate. Now down in 13th, about to be lapped by Hill. So let's take a look at this. This is Hakkinen battling with Schumacher. He's lost out to Berger in all of this. Berger snuck through past the Finnish driver and now he's into the gravel. This seems to be a standard move around this version of Estoril. And next up for Schumacher is Gerhard Berger's Benetton. He'll want to minimise this gap between Hill and himself wherever possible. Teammate Irvine is next up as well, but I think he might be slightly too far out the way to be able to catch and pass. Ooh, no way for Katayama to get out of the way of that. Schumacher impatiently smashing his way through, now uses his boost to get past Berger, who uses his boost to get back past. Cat and mouse between those two as we enter the final lap of the race. And look, Hill's been caught by Jean Alesi because those soft tyres are knackered. To be fair, his soft tyres aren't exactly living the dream either, but Alesi did put his on later, so he's got more grip. And look at the way how that's just caused problems for Hill. Is Hill going to lose out again on the last lap for another race? Yes, he is. Jean Alesi round the outside. Frentzen was in the way, but that was Hill having problems. Look at the way how Hill's closing back. Didn't matter. Alesi snatches the win for Benetton at the final lap from Hill. Villeneuve second, Schumacher fourth. And that has really actually stopped the rot for Schumacher of what was looking like a real pounding that was going to take place there. Hakkinen a good run for him. Panis superb for 7th. Coulthard will be 8. Barrichello 9. Coulthard 9, Barrichello 10. Giancarlo Fisichella 11th in the Minardi. Hats off to that. That needs a clippy clap. And that's what happens when you get a race where you actually don't bugger something up. Really well done. Frentzen then, head of Diniz, Brundle, Salo, Verstappen, Herbert, Katayama, Lamy and Rosset. And actually what that's done really is that battle for 17th and 18th between Fisichella and Katayama, that has swung so far Fisichella's way. Katayama's going to need to do something special, I think, to pull that 17th out. What other battles are looking juicy? Salo closing down on Diniz, interestingly, slowly over time. Verstappen and Herbert. Coulthard and Brundle, the battle of the B second driver Brits, if I put it like that. It's not worked out well for their favour. Frentzen and Panis, their own little squabble over 9th and 10th, interesting. Hakkinen and Irvine, squabble and a half. Alesi's pulled clear of Villeneuve. And Hill is ahead of Schumacher, but as we've seen all season long, swing that roundabout. So next up's Imola. This track was on the actual calendar, of course, but it's the San Marino Grand Prix. Some really beautiful designing going on from Nuno, who's made these tracks in the track editor. The real big thing with Ultimate Racing 2D2 is that track editor and workshop modding makes this game just infinitely playable. I'm loving it so much. And Damon Hill has made that infinitely his pole position. So I just quietly moved myself around. Apologies if you could hear me shuffling in the background. Got a numb bum. Anyway, enough of that. So yeah, Schumacher starting behind Hill on the grid. No big surprises there. In terms of the grid. How this work in terms of the race though, who will know? Hill, soft tyres, getting a nice juicy start. Villeneuve caught out on the gravel, problems for him. Panis in the mediums, working his way up to 6th there briefly. doing a great stuff as we come into Aqua Minerale. Villeneuve, ooh, that was a banzai from Häkkinen. Great stuff. Jordan side by side. They need to recover something of their season. Frentzen pushed right the way out into the boonies down at Ravazza's 1 and 2. Not the best start that he wanted. The Tyrrells, though, actually having a decent enough start this time around, getting ahead of the Footworks and Minardis, so good starts for them. Very spread out again here, though, on this 16-lap circuit, and I think we're going to have Martin Brundle being his standard early pit stop for damage. Brundle's really had more pit stops for early damage, I think, than anyone else, possibly Irvine being the other one. As we run our way through. How's Panis in third? Hang on. What's happened there? I mean, I'll take it, but Jesus Christ. So then it's Villeneuve, Häkkinen, Irvine. Odyssee's into the pits this time round for support. That looks like Herbert getting round Berger, and indeed he does. Berger's trying to fight back with the boost, unable to do so. Dinny's hiding behind. Odysee came out in between the two Minardis. That's worked for him. Brundle's nearly joined back onto the back. Frentzen and Katayama also into the pits for repairs. So yeah, Hill, Schumacher, Panis, Villeneuve, Häkkinen, Irvine, Barrichello, Coulthard, Herbert, Diniz, Berger, Salo and Verstappen. Big gap back to Jean Odysee, who's got himself past Fisichella. There's the rest of the field just timing their way through. Katayama being lapped already. Terrible, terrible, terrible season for the Japanese driver. Häkkinen and Irvine somewhat damaged, which I think is why Panis has been able to kind of shifty his way through and stay ahead. But Villeneuve starting to pull his way in now. Mediums last to lap 10 or so. Hards could go all the way, but I don't know if you'd want to. I'm not seeing tons of lapping going on or overtaking going on. That's particularly well done as well. Let's take a look at Odysee. Where's he up to? Gets his way past Mika Salo's Tyrrell. Next up's Pedro Diniz's Ligier. He's been scoring solid points. Into the pits comes Gerhard Berger and Diniz. Oh, that looked like a pit lane violation between Berger and Diniz there. There we are, and comes out in between the Minardis. And you can see Brundle and Frentzen, yes, they've caught back up again, but it's hardly been plain sailing. As into the pits comes Damon Hill to the lead. Now goes to Michael Schumacher, who's clear of Villeneuve, and Villeneuve's been caught really by... I know Villeneuve's now got ahead of Olivier Panis, my apologies. So third and fourth for them. Watching that go around. Katayama back in the pits again. That could be his second non-score this year, by the way. So Villeneuve in. That was hard tyres for him. So that's an early pit stop for Jacques Villeneuve. Hill gets back past Panis. Now closing himself back down on Michael Schumacher, who's leading the way quite nicely in that Ferrari. Not sure whether that's the correct strategy to keep going. Panis too. So he tries to deal with Frentzen unlapping himself in that Sauber. Let him go, let him go. Here's Villeneuve on Irvine. Ooh, wow, that was all Irvine's doing really that allowed Villeneuve to get through and up into fourth. Coulthard running sixth at the moment, yet to stop, but Häkkinen has stopped and is nearly up to taking him. As who's that in the pits? That is Schumacher and Panis in. So Hill leading the way, 2 seconds from Villeneuve, then it's Schumacher, then it's Irvine, Berger's there, there's Coulthard and Häkkinen swapping positions, Panis on soft tyres, steaming his way past Coulthard, and Coulthard, well, you'll need to pit now, that car looks absolutely boogered. Panis laughing Katayama again. Oh, Berger there, nearly getting stuck in the pit lane barrier there with the way how the pitting was working. Häkkinen now holding up Berger. Panis is stuck there trying to do the lap traffic. Coulthard did not pit. Did he miss the pits? That's a real misnomer there for me. Odysee struggling around. Brundle also looking absolutely knackered. Yeah, and look, Rosset trying to get through, smashing Häkkinen out the way. Assuming Coulthard will get in this time around. I think we're okay for people. Sarlo and Barrichello, those cars look knackered. This is definitely a run of attrition going on here, making sure that you can stay clean and ahead. Hill, though, a couple of seconds clear of Villeneuve and with better tyres. This is looking great for him. Schumacher's way too far back to make too much of a difference. Then it's Häkkinen behind Berger. Panis is there and thereabouts. So Lacey's closing them down from his second stop. And in fact, that's Panis getting past Mika Häkkinen. He's now trying to lap himself on Brundle. Brundle gets out of the way. I think Brundle might blow up his car at this rate. They come to the pits and look, Berger in trouble. Is Panis going to get Berger for fourth? Crazy if he does. Sarlo's in trouble too, but Damon Hill is going to be the winner. Crossing the line, beautifully done there by the Williams driver. 2.5 seconds clear of his teammate for a 1-2. No, it's not. Schumacher does it again at the line. He's yoinked more points off the line down those home straights than I've had at dinners. Panis a superb fourth. Then it's Berger, Irvine getting past, or staying ahead of a Lacey. Häkkinen losing out right at the end there. Coulthard 9th. Herbert grabs 10 ahead of Diniz, Verstappen. Barrichello, that's Sarlo. Didn't stop. I don't think that worked out for him down in 14th on the hard tyres. Then it was Frentzen, the Minardis of Lamy ahead of Fisichella. Katayama, Rosset and Martin Brundle. I said that car looked in absolute state. Martin Brundle did not score. Last position in the Jordan. Wow. And that's huge because with Coulthard scoring, that puts him up into 11th and makes Brundle, really lose touch from Heinz-Harald Frentzen and Olivier Panis in their little squabble up ahead. If anything, they're starting to close down a little bit on Rubens Barrichello with Jordan having this kind of poor patch of performance. And if anything, Pedro Lamy is closing down Ukyo Katayama for 18th and 19th position. This is a battle I'm living for. Verstappen only 1 point ahead of Herbert now, moving further up the field. Irvine just 3 ahead of Häkkinen. Yeah, look, just 5 between Alesi and Villeneuve. 12 now between Hill and Schumacher, interestingly. 3 points between Sauber and Ligier, and we're off to Buenos Aires. Such an odd track, this one. It was certainly used for the 1996 Grand Prix, famous for 2 incidences. Luca Badoer being rolled over by Pedro Diniz and causing a safety car, and then Pedro Diniz's oil line and fuel line breaking and seeing the car explode into flames. Ooh, this looks like a long circuit that they've made this one into. So we're going to be thinking, yeah, look, soft tyres, 5 to 7 laps. Wow, looking at the field spread here, really noticeable. So Hill has got himself a juicy pole position. I think. Yeah, quite away from the Benettons of Berger and Alesi. Barrichello doing well for 7, Panis up in 8th. McLaren side by side. Tyrrell side by side as well. Nearly 5 seconds covering the field there. The Minardi is really struggling in comparison to everyone else. That car is the worst of the lot. And Damon Hill leads the way around on hard tyres. Hard tyres only last laps 7 to 10, so this is going to be a multi-stop race by far, and probably one of the ones with the most widest field spread of the lot as well. As I don't know if I'd be using soft tyres or not. Look at the way they're trying to blast their way round to the outside as Häkkinen pushes Panis. Barrichello trying to push Irvine through. Alesi's got round Villeneuve. Everyone's making it through. I thought Frentzen was going to hit the barriers there, but we're okay. Oh, Ricardo Rosset's had a torrid start and is already detached from the field. He'll need to catch himself back up again. But it is Schumacher leading the way, and he needs this for his championship. Penultimate round, of course. Then it's Berger, Hill, Odysee, Villeneuve, Barrichello, Irvine, Hakkinen, Panis and Coulthard, your top 10. Everyone's squabbling further back. That looks like Herbert having a real problem keeping Pedro Lami's Minardi behind. Of course, there is slipstreaming involved here as well, so that kind of helps people stay together, a bit like that with the McLarens, as Coulthard snipes his way round and past Mika Hakkinen for position. Panis about to do the same to Irvine. Panis on soft tyres though, Irvine on hard. Look at that, reaching the limiter, and Barrichello able to use his slipstreaming and good power to try and get through. Panis now having a look as well. Ooh, running a bit wide. Of course, hard tyres playing a factor here, but up front it is Gerhard Berger, soft tyre shod Benetton leading the way and pulling away slightly from what is now Jean Odysee as he takes to a Benetton 1-2 ahead of Ferrari's Michael Schumacher. Of course, this is all to play out in terms of strategy. Hill there trying to get round Jacques Villeneuve. Hard tyre versus medium. That's Panis in the softs doing a sterling job in that Ligier. Everyone else staying through. There's Verstappen having a good run too. Also soft tyres in that footwork. Dives up into 11. Ooh, Diniz trying to get round Frentzen. Puts a wheel on the grass. Loses out dramatically. Teammate Herbert just behind. Katayama, hard tyres, lead Tyrrell in 18th. It's not working out well for them. And here's Berger starting to run into problems. Here comes Schumacher and Odysee steamrolling through on the medium-tyred Ferraris and Benettons. Berger, though, continues on his way. The other really interesting thing here is the pit lane really chops off a part of this track. So when we start to see people pitting for reals, we'll have to take a look and see exactly how that works for people as Pedro Diniz takes Heinz-Harald Frentzen for what is 13th. Ooh, both on the grass this time, as is Herbert. Lamy just scraping it through. And that is everyone in. Mika Salo into the pits, the first one through in the Tyrrell, rejoins in last. A fair bit of time lost, but not tons. And up front, oh hello, Damon Hill's joining the party. No one's pitted this time around though. That's Panis in the Ligier. So there you can see just how much that kind of saves as you turn off and in. Long pit lane though, that's the other problem. So I think it kind of balances out. We'll soon see. Anyway, Odysee leads the way then from Michael Schumacher. Gerhard Berger dropping back in third. Those soft tyres probably past their best now on lap 6 of what they say is 7 laps of durability. Hill coming in hot with his hard tyres. Yeah, look at the way how they... So you save a lot with that kind of thing, and then it's just the... Yeah. Where's that going to pop Berger out? Oh, there's problems there. That's Irvine and Barrichello getting together and having problems. That's worked out beautifully for Gerhard. That's given him clean space because Irvine and Barrichello would have been ahead otherwise. That's Hakkinen. Panis came out on medium tyres, interestingly. Immediately smashes Hakkinen. That's not going to work. Might need to go down the inside here. Does so indeed. And he's got boost to spare. Frenton's been in the pits. That's Katayama getting around Pedro Diniz. Rosset and Salo battling over wooden spoon. Spoon given to Ricciardo. Up front, still not pitting lap 8 of 16. So this is the end of the durability then of the medium tyres. It still shows that they've got some left though, so maybe you can go further than what you think you can. Possibly because of how much of this track is kind of made into straights and corners where you just shuffle round. It's not big, huge hairpins. So that might be helping the teams out and drivers out. But look at Hill. Hill's going for a Odysee. Of course, this is now the time where the hard tyres, definitely better than the mediums. Into the pits comes Michael Schumacher and Jean Odysee. Hill now takes over the lead, able to not have to deal with lapping Rosset as well, so that's helpful for him. Fisichella has been in the pits too. In fact, most people have. There's Villeneuve in 5th. Panis It's fine running 6th. That's Coulthard 7. Brundle now up into 8th. But Brundle's not pitted, interestingly. He's on hard tyres. Really kind of oddly out of position. I feel like he would be doing... Yeah, maybe he just got swallowed up early on in a pack and wasn't able to do much with it. Frentzen and Diniz having a good old squabble again. 13th and 14th. Those two have been at each other's throats since the start of the race as Hill's pitted and comes out behind Odysee and Schumacher. Gerhard Berger it is, though, that leads the way. He's one stopped. He's on hard tyres. His next stop is for, it says softs. I wonder if he's going to try and get to the end here, Berger. On these tyres as he comes round to pop a lap on Giancarlo Fisichella. Odysee's having to deal with Schumacher. Odysee on hard tyres, Michael on mediums. Michael's got the upper hand advantage for now. If I was Odysee, I'd just try and stay in his wheel tracks and try and be dragged along by his slipstream. Just like that, really. And look, yoink, straight into second position. That's what the difference of new tyres makes. Everyone able to get around that corner quite nicely. When we were seeing Diniz and Frentzen kicking up the dirt earlier. And look, Gerhard Berger. If he was a duck, he would be in sit-in position. Ugh. Painful. There's definitely been a theme. Those that have tried to do things on lesser stops, largely, it's not worked. It's been easier to, on these kind of shorter 16-lappy races, to just chop things up nice and neatly. And well, I say that, Berger's not done yet, is he? Trying his best to try and get through and stay ahead. Everyone pounding out their boost. Michael Schumacher keeping more of it available for later on. This will pay dividends if he uses it. Yeah. Oh, I thought that would make more of a dent. And here comes Damon in the background. It looks like Villeneuve's not quite on the same level at the moment of these four up front. But as Schumacher retakes Odysee for second and third, Hill is closing down on a lot of them. Before that all kicks off, let's have a look back. Salo having a torrid time. Katayama trying to do something with soft tyres there. Salo in the pits for his second stop, and here's Berger keeping the lead and retaking the lead back. I didn't expect this. I thought Berger would be dropping like a stone much earlier in this battle, but he's kept it going, and then Odysee takes over. Then look at the way how slipstreaming works. It allows Berger to get through. They've broken away slightly from Schumacher, who's having to deal with Hill. Of course, this is huge for the championship, because if Schumacher can keep Hill behind, then that gives him points back going into the finale. But really, the Benettons could be the big fly in the ointment here, because depending on where Hill and Schumacher end up will be the expansion or contraction of that points. As Berger gets it wrong, that allows Odysee a little bit of a mini gap. Hill sneaks by Schumacher. Is he going to get past Berger as well? Yes, he is. That's huge for the Englishman. Schumacher now is past Berger too. You'd think with that damage that has probably eliminated Berger from this lead battle. And look, Hill down the inside of Odysee. He's got better tyres, of course. Less damage. Now they're coming up to 15th placed Pedro Diniz to lap the Ligier driver. Bit of contact there, pushes Diniz out wide. Berger does not pit, he continues on his way. He's kind of all on his own, really, in 5th position. But that is key. Oh, who was that in trouble? Diniz, because the battle for second continues to battle away. It is now imperative, as Damon Hill puts gaps between Odysee and himself. What can Michael Schumacher do on those medium tyres to get past John Odysee? I don't think he's got anything to give. Those tyres are more tired out now than Odysee's hards. This is where the hard tyre comes into its element. Berger's knackered. Villeneuve is closing down. That could be a last lap switch for Berger and Villeneuve. But this couldn't have gone better for Damon Hill. He won't, if Schumacher finishes third, be able to be champion. He'll still need to do it on the final race. But this puts it into a overwhelmingly easy move for Damon Hill to be able to win the championship at the season finale. Oddly, very close to the real life world, wasn't it? With Villeneuve and Hill beforehand. That's Rosset in for a second stop. Verstappen is going to stay unlapped, I think, in his 12th place. Hill wins then. Jean Alesi second. Michael Schumacher does come home third, keeps his championship alive. Berger clings on for fourth. That's the difference you can see with damage there. Villeneuve fifth. Irvine will be sixth. Panis 7. Coulthard or Hakkinen will be 8th or 9th, depending on who does what in this final corner. That'd be good for Coulthard if he can get it, and indeed he does. Then it's Barrichello, Brundle, Verstappen, Frentzen, Herbert, Diniz, Katayama and Salo. Fisichella, Lamy and Rosset. So, with one round left to go, Hill has got 20 points over Schumacher. So, Schumacher has to win. Well, Schumacher has to finish second or first to win the championship. And Hill has to not score or only score a couple of points, depending on whether he wins or loses. So Hill, basically, if Hill finishes higher than 16th, he's got it. Villeneuve is then third. Then it's Lacey's third ahead of Villeneuve. 12 points between those. I mean, one of them would have to have a terrible day for that to swing. Berger's fine in fifth ahead of Irvine and Hakkinen. That could swing quite happily. Barrichello's on his own in 8th. Panis could swing for Frentzen 9th and 10th if one of those have a bad day. Coulthard ahead of Brundle, ahead of Verstappen and Herbert. Be nice to see Diniz getting across the 100 points line in the last race if he can do it. Then Salo, Fisichella. Katayama's pulled away from Lamy, but really, oh dear. And oh dear for Tyrrell in general. I thought they'd be a bit stronger than that. Especially when you see the gap there is that Sauber have nearly got double Tyrrell's points. And they're only 5 ahead of Footwork. That could swing. Minardi I don't think will cross the 100 point mark, but well done. What else is up for grabs? Ligier and Sauber, 6th and 7th. Who's going to win that one? I think everything else is pretty much sorted. As we take a nod to Circuit Superstars for Tilk Sport for our finale race. Let's see how we get on. So if you're not familiar with Circuit Superstars, this is one of the original tracks from Circuit Superstars that has been relayed out into Ultimate Racing 2D2. Both games are absolutely superb. I love to see a crossover. And Damon Hill has started things off in the best possible way in what is a very tight and twisty circuit for a juicy pole position now, well clear of Gerhard Berger, who's classified second ahead of Schumacher than everyone else. Jordan's having a good run there, 7 and 8. That will help out Brundle, no end if he can keep that one up. Doesn't help out McLaren. Lamy on the back. Okay. Ooh, very, very slow round turns 1 and 2, obviously. It's a weird double back hairpin. Ooh, it's very slow and tight and twisty. Panis and Herbert have had torrid starts and they've dropped to the very back of the field, so that could well be the swing that Frentzen needs for their battle. And obviously Sauber there, and that's Schumacher with a penalty. Oh dear, that has thrown him right back. Thankfully, because of the nature of this track and how everyone seems to be struggling, that's actually been one of the least penalising penalties I've seen in recent racing, certainly in this championship. So yeah, problems there. Fisichella I think also getting a penalty off the back there, but it's Hill leading the way. Irvine, what can he do to help his teammate Schumacher? Not sure he can do very much at all as they try and make their way round this corner. The Jordans having a great run. This is by far their best effort as Berger gets a penalty. Into the pits comes, is that Verstappen and Hakkinen for early stops for tyres and changes and damage and all of that kind of stuff. Panis and Fisichella right at the back. Oh no. Oh, no, 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 no. Someone should have checked the AI before this happened. Oh, Christ. Always the way. Who's in the pits this time around? Hopefully they'll be able to like push each other. Oh, there we go. They do get going again. Okay, this might... Oh, no. They're turning off early. Oh... We might just have to hold this as this was what the positions were on race 15. Oh, God. Yeah, in they all come, look. Elise is in. Come on, David Coulthard, you can do this. You can all do this. Hopefully. I mean, they do eventually get out. This is like the obstacle course race. So for me, this is now about who actually has the least amount of pit stops. Oh, Mika. What happened there, mate? That could be a problem, actually, because now Mika's stuck. That could break the race for us. Poor Jos Verstappen, he's been stuck there for ages. Okay, Damon Hill still leading the way. Hard tyres. To be fair, he was going to win this championship, so I think we're okay. FIA is going to get involved. This race has clearly been run by Michael Massey. This race is null and void. We'll take the championship order from what's gone on before. It was a lovely 15 race championship. We'll just have a giggle at watching this come across the line eventually. Oh, damn it, Fisichella pitted with his hard tyres. So hard tyres last 13 to 18 laps. Can Hill stay clean and clear enough that he actually doesn't bother pitting at all? And this just becomes like a pretend victory run. Dinny's up in third, Sarlo, Herbert, Lammy's in sixth, Rossett's seventh. I beg your pardon. I mean, I'm loving it, but I beg your pardon. Look at that. Yeah, Berger's conked out. That's Hill conked out. Oh, no. Don't do it on the racing line. Oh, no. Oh, God. There is fourth placed Pedro Lamy closing down on Johnny Herbert. There's Hakkinen stuck there. Rosset's up into fifth. That's Hill pushing Olivier Panis around. Villeneuve's now stuck in there as well. Oh, God. Hill, do not pit. Do not pit. I beg of you. You're the only one who can basically finish this race. Look at the state of it. So, yeah, Hill and Lamy leading the way. Oh no, that's too much. Hopefully that's not too much damage and we're okay. I mean, I would have loved to have seen a Minardi podium. He's going to pit now, isn't he? Bollocks. Uh-ohs! Is there anyone still with... Oh, Rossett's still got some stuff. Okay. So yeah, that's Lamy now stuck. So, Damon Hill, you've got a couple of laps left to go, mate. No! Stop it! Oh, please don't pit. Please don't pit. Please don't pit. Yes! You can do this, Damon. It's funny that it's him who's now, like, the only car that's left running. It's very poetic justice as everyone else has conked out. Right, don't smash into anyone down this straight, please. Oh, Verstappen, to be fair, you've nearly pushed them all the way back round to the pits again. Hacken's nearly done that anyway. Right. Do not pit. Do not pit. Do not pit. Yes. Good man. Good man. Good man. Because actually everyone else is now parked off the bay. We just need to make sure that those final couple of cars aren't somewhere where he's going to smash into too much. And we're okay. But yeah, Damon Hill, he'd a winner. Cool, that's avoided Verstappen. That will avoid Panish just about. Well, I think is now in the way, but we'll take it. So who else has had a good run with this that's going to bugger it up? Dinny's in 7, Sarlo 6, Herbert Katayama 9, Jesse Keller 11. So actually that gives Tyrrell a good run. It gives Footwork and Minardi some good points as well. And actually that will push Minardi over the 100 point mark if we were going to use this. Okay. Come on. Good boy. Okay. Final lap. Well done, Damon Hill, for surviving the Chaos Grand Prix. So yeah, don't use this with AI. Use this only with with online racing with other people. There you go, Damon Hill, our championship winner. So I hope you all enjoyed this first foray into what this series is going to be about. I think it will be good fun, very enjoyable. And we'll be doing a different season next time around with some different tracks. And I'll make sure I test the AI lines beforehand for any other new tracks that I'm going to add that are from the workshop. You guys take care. Thank you so much for watching. And congratulations to Damon Hill, our 1996 Ultimate Racing 2D2 champion.